That's about to take place. Blair Allen, I know you love these things so much.
Yeah, I mean, no surprises, Nuke's going to be banned out. And Godsent, once again, flexing the fact that they have that 7-map pool, right? They're going for the Vertigo ban and map that Gambit, where at one point the best team on the planet on, no surprises there. The overpass be coming in from the side of places. That's a little interesting. Inferno from Godsent, that's a map that they're very good on, and we've seen the side of players kind of falter a bit on that map at times.
Yeah, I guess the term would be a bit of an Achilles heel, especially against kind of the elite level teams, but can Godsent exploit them in the same way? I did find the overpass pick a little bit interesting. So you'll see what they have in store, but overall, I think both teams vetoing about as expected.
I'm a little surprised. I really felt like Godsent would go for Ancient, in all honesty. I know it's a bit of a curveball. I know it can be a cruel mistress at times to pick the map and then to get banged out on your T side, but, you know, maybe they have something in store for us here. Taco, as you mentioned as well, Paulo, the guy's a veteran. And in fact, I want to allude to an interview which Duncan did with Zeus from Brazil, right? And he said Taco is probably the most well-rounded Brazilian player he's ever seen in that, in that region. And it shows. There's a very cool narrative which Polly alluded to as well. So let's see if this can really pan out for them.
Blair Allen, thank you for your expert analysis as always. Everybody at home, it's a very important best of 3 for both of these teams. It's players versus Godsent starting off on Inferno.
Oh yes! It's going to be a great game. Best of 3 starting on Inferno, players starting on the CT side, Godsent on the T side. Maui, what's your thoughts about this game? Who have you got picked for this one?
Well, a lot of people are going to understandably pick players to be the favorites in this one, but I've been seeing progress from Godsent. Every day they've gotten a little bit better. I think we might not be live just yet, but either way, I think that Godsent are starting to put the pieces together. Henny's starting to get more comfortable in the role. They're giving him some more options on the CT side, and that's cool to see. And I think that throwing him right into Phelps' roles is tough, but I think that he's starting to kind of mess with it a little bit more. He's starting to figure it out.
It does feel like you can almost plot the progress on a graph. I feel like from sort of day 1 to now for Godsent, definitely. So that's encouraging, but it does feel like the step up all the way to players level that's a big step.
It's drastic.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight for Godsent, and they're definitely the underdogs in this matchup to keep expectations realistic.
I'm excited for it. They do play it also, I think, just in general, for like almost all teams in the world, they just play this slightly strange off-brand Counter-Strike on the player's side that can be very, very hard to deal with, like hard to adjust to, I think.
Exactly. They're one of the teams that uses the entire minute and 55 allotted before they even have to plant the bomb. It's really tough if you aren't used to it, because if you're practicing against teams in North America, like Godsent has been, there are not many squads overseas that are doing that. They're not using the whole clock. I mean, just to remark on it even more, John G from Party Astronaut said it's so foreign to him for teams to not end the round within a minute. And Godsent was working under those same circumstances in those same sort of practices. So that's this is going to be a little bit of a culture shock in terms of gameplay.
Yeah, it really could be. I think we got a headset that's being fixed, and then we should be good to go once again. But yeah, I think one of the issues that you're dealing with when it comes to the way that they play, especially on the T side, I feel like they call these freezes sometimes, and they seem so confident in just kind of hanging out and waiting, and it feels like it's a big risk, but they manage it almost better than any other team. It's really crazy.
In terms of putting the pieces together after they call a freeze, they have so many options too. For one, they could just throw the best utility possible for the situation. And another is that their mechanical ability is so strong that Axile can just jiggle peek a new corner, and then he's going to delete a player from the server. So they have so many ways, and you don't really know what the solution will be or what their attempted solution will be. But here we go. Godsent starting on the T side, throwing a deep CT smoke. That should just indicate a flat-out B rush.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to make it complicated, and they're going to try. They can't catch anyone. I bet you if they had caught Hobbit at that corner, it would have been interesting, but going to be slowing it down, at least checking it, throwing a secondary round of nades. This time, double smoke and a flash to clear it open. Taco with a nice headshot to take down Hobbit, and they're going to catch Nafferty as well before he get back around the corner. That is a really important kill. That weakens that retake so much. What a great start for Godsent. The Exile does come with a kill on Henny. Makes it interesting once again.
No utility for players. It'll be a tough retake. They just have to trade off of each other. Axile, another tap out there to take down Doomao. 3-on-3 situation. Inter is holding the line while Axile reloads. Barton now, he's stuck in a corner. They know exactly where he is. Position of Lado is unknown, but now the jig is up. Shiro takes him down, and wow, despite the fact that they had nothing to work with, players are flexing their mechanical ability in this one. Those shots were so crisp, barely even an opportunity for Godsent to shoot back.
Oh, they made that look so easy, didn't they? I think there might have been a little bit of an issue for Doomao in the middle of all of that, but yeah, generally speaking, man, that is still a pretty cool retake either way. So a good job. Yeah, Axile off to the start. So many players to watch for when we look at this, at the players lineup, right? It's just they can take turns for who is going to be the hard-hitting player. So, and they had that kit on Shiro as well, so they had a little bit of time to get that working. Pretty good job. I do believe we have another tech timeout just to fix Doomao's PC, and hopefully we can get right back on track. It's only the pistol round after all. But yeah, I mean, I in terms of complexity for Godsent in that round, sometimes it doesn't have to be so complicated. Like, trade top banana, throw smokes, flash, go take the bomb side. Worked almost completely. The
initial strategy for Godsent was solid, or at least it was pragmatic. It worked. And the double entry usually indicates you're gonna win the round, but you feel okay throwing out the jiggles into players' direction that they did. It's just simply that Axile and everybody else hit every shot that was presented to them. And you can tell that players, they're here to do exactly what their name says. They're gonna play.
Hell yes. That is it's what they've been doing most of the time. Had a little, because I have some hiccups.
That's true. That's true. Movistar has proven themselves to be a very strong team in this group.
Yeah.
They've made a leap, I'll say. Last 9 months or so, it really feels like Movistar were almost, I would even say, hard stuck in the 15 to 25 ranking range, but they're making a case for themselves in this group that they can punch above their weight.
Yeah, they're one of the teams that I think I almost embarrassingly so, but I think it would have been hard for me if I had to sort of, you know, if I had to run like a list of interesting teams in Europe right now, I would have forgotten about them, I think, easily, which is a little bit shameful, maybe.
It's fair.
I won't now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that happens sometimes, you know, with teams. You don't get to see them all the time, and it's one of those projects that's been sort of slowly building for a long time, and that'll also sometimes draw your attention away. You know, you think, yeah, I know those guys exist, but I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Especially with no sort of roster changes and just the gradual grind, it's hard to fully recognize how good a team can get just over time, despite the fact that that's more or less what players accomplished with this lineup. Of course, they had one player swap, getting in Hobbit, but beyond that, they just kept their nose to the grindstone.
Yeah.
And always got to appreciate that. Teams that value the longevity of their roster, that recognize when they keep playing together, they will get better as long as everybody is held accountable. And you got to imagine that's what's going on in the Movistar camp right now, that they're having they're on an upward trajectory, which is just due to the fact that everybody's working together for one common goal.
Yeah, the formula is working, and now it's just time will solve the rest for them, probably. Second round here, and obviously some weapons being picked up. Scout on Henny. Kind of like that. On Inferno, maybe it's a little bit out of the norm on the T side for a second round like this, but you know what? You can get some pretty strong headshots. And we've seen Henny, like I think we both at this point want him to flex into that style of playing just a bit more. Give him some freedom, let him out and see what he could do. Barton will win that fight against Shiro. Looked like he maybe should have been dead. There was a lot of bullets flying his way, but somehow he's still on 30.
That's a big fight to win early on. Barton is... The two engagements we've seen from him so far have been very quick. His time to kill is very low. But this is a banana setup between Hobbit and Nafany. Oh, Henny! Okay, that's a way to kick it off, but Nafany is still here at the logs, and Henny finds the trade. What a shot from Henny to open it up, though.
Yeah, that's beautiful. They're going to have the smokes to make the cross, and if they don't use all of them, they actually have another Molotov just thrown out now by Barton, and they have another smoke on Henny as well. Yeah, that's going to be really, really annoying. Basically, will force that CT. He runs back. He says, all right, I guess I'm not going banana anymore then, which feels like that's going to... Surely no way you can rotate around this and still have a really good shot at the defuse. Henny will get one more kill, this time with Galil instead, and Axile I don't think he gets some exits maybe, but I don't think he can retake the bomb side on his own right now. So that is a really great comeback for Godsent.
Can't wait to see the Henny replay. That first one was incredible.
Yeah.
They switch out the Galil and Scout between him and Barton due to the HP difference. But Godsent, they find the reset onto players. This is usually one of the worst situations for a CT side to be in. Win the pistol, lose the second. You don't have the loss bonus. Anything greater than 1400, that is. And now the T's, they're running away with it. But you never really can count players out. It doesn't matter what weaponry they have.
No.
Oh, yeah. In slow-mo. That did justice to that shot.
I didn't even register, but he got the follow-up scout on Nafferty in the corner.
Yeah.
Good stuff. What a round for Henny.
Okay, that was also really clean on the inters.
He's come ready today. We love to see it. And I think also, I mean, there's no way that you can ensure this kind of a thing, but that pistol round, I think, did get a little bit tilted by Dumao. I think his PC got stuck somewhere in the middle of that retake, and that's just unfortunate that happened. It's so cool to see people bounce back from that immediately, and I think just mentally it's a nice feeling. I bet that's even probably what they said, something like, okay, well, let's just, doesn't matter. Win the next round, who cares, you know? Strong mentality if you can get that kind of thing up and running.
That's like Taco have been there before.
Yes.
He's seen any numerous problems in a round, and he knows the only thing you can do is look forward. It's exactly how you have to live life, too.
That's deep. I like that.
And keep dwelling on the past.
So, easier said, right? Easier said.
Of course, of course.
But you're not wrong. Third round. Down to under a minute now. I don't think they're scared necessarily Godsent here, but I really understand the hesitancy, because if you run into a stack here, C said, you know, MP9, it can ruin your day really quickly, and they don't want to give this lead or this particular amount of rifles back. They just want to keep this going, the momentum.
So it looks like Hobbit wants to do the self flash into just the wide swing with the CZ. At least that's what he's indicating. But it's sort of tough to do that when you have to put the Lego gun together. It just takes a little too long. Okay, now he doesn't have the flash. Smoke's there.
Yeah, it seemed like he decided to slow it down just to buy some time for his teammate to get there, and it kind of works in a way. Ooh, a little bit of a chance now for Nafferty, but Taco. That Galil has a lot of bullets on the other side, so eventually one of them is probably going to catch him.
Oh, okay. Well, it's hard to justify the retake at this point.
Yeah. That is a funny shot, though.
Seems like all of Henny's shots have seemingly been like that. Just so quick.
It could be the beginning of a really good series if that's going to keep happening. But yeah, I love it. He was just trying to walk by. Like he was just trying to walk by there. He was just out for a stroll, Shiro. Wasn't even threatening anyone, and it was done. Bomb is definitely going to go up here. Not much they could do about it. And still, it's an expensive round. I mean, in terms of optimization in what's probably a loss already. Yeah, good job.
Players absolutely play it down to the last second. Always inflicting the most damage, keeping the most weapons alive. They make you work for it the entire time. They don't let you breathe. They don't let you blink.
Speaking of pie, what is your favorite pie?
Pie. Ooh, I really like a couple of pies you can get in Hawaii. Shout out Ted's Bakery. That's a good one on Oahu.
Okay.
On the North Shore.
What are Hawaiian pies? Well, what makes them different?
So one nice one is Haupia chocolate, and Haupia just basically means coconut.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be.
I'm a huge fan of the coconut chocolate combination.
It is.
I know some people don't like. I think it's huge.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Super underrated.
This is a weird food hack.
Go on.
So a lot of people don't like shaved coconut. And I used to not like shaved coconut because I'm like, it doesn't taste like fresh coconut, which I really love.
Yeah.
But I realize you just have to have a total mindset change, a shift in how you perceive shaved coconut, like when it's on top of a dessert, because you just need to recognize that it's a completely different type of ingredient. In fact, it just shouldn't be called shaved coconut because it sets an expectation for what it will taste like, which it doesn't actually meet.
All right, I get it.
If you think of it as something else, as just an accessory ingredient, it can be incredible.
All right. I could see that. All right, so maybe some people have been fooled by their own brains.
Yes.
I like that. Go test it out, see what you think. report back what your findings are. Maybe we've converted some people to the right side, I would say, right side of history.
Okay.
It's already a little bit low on health. Axel, he's actually in a great position. This could be dangerous. Oh, I take it all back. Henny, he is not missing a beat right now. Instant shot. Shiro, double headshot with the deagle. He wants more. He hasn't reloaded yet, but Henny, he's pretty good for another one there. Got the assist, I think, on one more kill. Oh, man, that got really, really close. Henny pulling them out of the fire, though.
Godsent running into the full stack, and Shiro made that so competitive there. Wow. Those shots are excellent, but Henny is incredibly sharp right now. He is tapping people out. Man.
I have no idea how you get that second kill.
So clean.
I always find it to be borderline suspicious when people hit second bullet deagle headshots. I don't know, somehow it's even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
The one bullet one is like, yeah, I kind of get it, like the recoil and everything, but when people miss that one and they just click instantly and it's a headshot, I'm like, wow, what?
It's not supposed to work like that, and yet it does for the best players in the world.
Shiro is low on health, and he's finally picked up that AWP, so a little bit unfortunate, I suppose. But this is the real test for Godsent. They could put together the beginning of a really incredible first half if they can win this round.
Absolutely. First gun round, first test. First round where Godsent is methodically and procedurally clearing out the map, starting with that apps pressure. Looks like they are indicating, based off of their positions, that they want to now retake Banana. I don't think that Molly hit the mark entirely. Might have wanted that one to go to logs. It still should be decent at helping them clear close right, but yeah, you can see that they're just staying clustered so that they can trade in case it did miss the mark. But this is looking, with the time left, that it has to be a B exec. They still have a lot of utility to work with, and the players inside of B, Shiro and Hobbit, they only have 2 flashes to work with. This might be a difficult hold for them.
Yeah, ooh, and they're going to Molotov away Shiro, and I think he's already low on health, so he has to kind of move. Yeah, he can't beat that. I think otherwise he would have pushed in front to try and help out Hobbit, who does need some help as well. He gets the 1 kill, but Lado is there on the good return. Huge gap in the smoke, and 10 seconds left. Oh, Nafferty, if he pushes through, he could win this round almost. It is so close. If they get the kill on the bomb planter there, that would have been the end of the round. But now it's a 3-on-3, and a good chance for a retake here. If they can just get into position, especially at the bottom of Banana. If Axel can win that first fight, it might be done. Henny's back in action. All right, that seems wild.
Oh, they're doing the fake smoke, actually. They smoked off Banana so that Axel pushes up, and Henny shouldn't have the same level of intent when peeking that. And Axel wins. Inters on top of that. Just Dumao now, 22 HP. This is an impossible situation, but he finds 2 already. But Axel's there for the trade. He's looking... Oh, he doesn't have a kit. Okay. Dumao did it. 1-on-3, and Godsent find their 4th round of the game.
Oh, that's devastating. I wonder if there was one, maybe towards construction instead, and he just couldn't get to it. Oh, that is super devastating.
That was so tricky from players on that retake there, throwing the smoke, and the way that they were able to just push on through. They make every situation, they just mold it to exactly the way that they want it to be played. But still, just not enough time. Took a little too long.
Huge round for Godsent right there. And you're right, just in case people missed it, I mean, they kind of do throw smoke like they're actually trying to block and not even find it on Banana. And it was a pretty cool job that Axel was well aware and checked and won that fight against Henny, because that's an easy mistake to make. You just a little bit careless running up Banana like that. You think, all right, they smoked me off. I guess I have free reign until I at least get to the smoke, but it could have been a fun little trick.
It's hard to just maintain the same level of focus if you're Henny peeking Banana there when you already know that you're smoked off. You don't actually expect that fight to come. If you look at his crosshair placement there, there's just a strong chance it's a little bit worse. It's not going to be as clean, or the peak itself's not going to be as clean. A lot of the top players out there, Rops and Nico, they'll hold their nerve no matter what. They're ready for anything, but a lot of other people are human.
Yeah, that's true. It is hard. It's incredibly taxing to keep a certain level of focus like that throughout, well, your entire career for some people.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mac 10 on Godsent. There are 2 targets without head armor. I always like to look for that whenever I see an SMG in play, because it really can change the outcome of a fight so much. Double setup towards the pit. That could be dangerous, especially with flashes flying in. Ooh, Exile, though, that's a hard stop.
Wow.
Triple spray down on the AK-47, and there's absolutely no entry on that side. They even had the flashbang set up, but I don't think it did what they needed it to do. That flashbang somehow not effective enough.
You don't usually see the player holding for the Halls pop on top of the hay cart. I wonder, I can't believe that the flash is meant to get that guy. You could see it kind of sailed over and almost was to be blinding a pit player, but yeah, that's just such a strange angle, but just Axile things.
Yeah, typically I suppose you wanted to catch someone playing on the balcony, or like on the right hand side of the balcony all the way at the back.
Right.
Like that, you wanted to go that deep, and I guess that could actually be behind the hay cart basically from that point of view. So Taco is he hurting all the chickens?
He's pressed E on 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
okay.
Getting some more friends. Yeah. You know what? They have 5 players now. Got
That's
3 chickens and Henny and Taco.
If they had more time, it
the
could.
5-on-5.
Lord of the chickens. The chicken whisperer.
What's your favorite part of a chicken to eat?
I think I've perfected the art of cooking or like frying chicken breasts, so that it's just perfect. Like real, you wrap it in bacon or something like that.
Oh,
you do a lot like.
Okay, all right.
You can like cut it in the middle, and you can put like cheese. Like there's a lot you can do with it. I'm saying.
You just know how to work a chicken breast.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why. Okay. All right. Henny takes 50 early on. Good utility damage from players. And they have banana control now. It's well done and well put together by them.
Yeah, and an interesting thing to think about, given the fact that their earlier defense, even though Shiro, I guess, was low on health in that one, but they were really far back in the B-bomb side. This time, at least, they are posturing a little bit early on, sort of looking to put a bit of aggression on out there. They're actually going to fall back fairly quickly. So more like a 4-1 type setup, it at least feels like. I don't really mind the 4. Oh, there's a lot of second guessing going on. I don't like that.
I'm not sure what players are thinking to rotate a player back to B, but I think the lack of utility from Godsent is almost confusing. The fact that they're not using too many nades to take bracket right now. It was just a couple. Porch molly, flash right side, smoke left. This could have been done by a singular player, but it's in fact 4 of the Godsent members in bracket now.
35 seconds. Shiro gonna come back and take a look. Still 2 smokes and a flashbang on the Godsent side, but he's set up for it. He's thinking this must be some sort of a top mid take, and he's not wrong either. Good damage onto Henny. 20 seconds left now, and they're gonna try and see if they get the wrap around a little bit early on that nade. Otherwise, that could have really done a lot of damage, but still, there's only 15 seconds. Godsent, they're in way more trouble than they realize. There's a lot of people on this bomb side. Axal going for another triple spray, and he gets it in the last bullet. Henny trying for the no-scope, not hitting either of them, and that is a good defense. No one dies on the player's side.
Look how many nades players has right now. They barely had to rebuy anything. They held all of their nades. There was not significant pressure in any direction that they thought, yeah, we need to use this molly or these 2 flashes. They saved it all, these smokes till the very end as well. They did such a good job in trusting their setup, so much so that they just had everything they needed to make this impossible for Godsent in the waning seconds of the round. Well done. The site defenses of players, they are constantly some of the strongest in the scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit interesting because we spoke a little bit about some of the freezes that they tend to call when they're on the T side, and being comfortable sort of standing still like that and waiting for the enemy to basically walk in and try and fight you, if that's what's going to happen, is almost the same thing you're doing on the CT side.
Right.
So it's almost like they're sort of doubling up on the amount of standing still, waiting for it, that kind of thing. Is it about again? He's blocked the way. This is like, this is if you go grocery shopping, and there's always got to be at least 1 or 2 people in the entire store that you just cannot get around. Like they just, everywhere you go.
Just stand in the middle of the aisle.
And they're everywhere that you go.
Something about their timings are just so bad for you. And they're the one that always gets the shopping cart too. No,
I know.
Man, you have one thing in your cart.
I'm just trying to make it through.
Just hold the basket.
You know, I once had a very frustrating experience in Walmart.
Oh man. So this is America? Surely.
Yes, America,
okay.
Yes. I don't know, this in Europe, if you take a shopping cart, you put stuff in it, and then you go somewhere else to pick something up without taking your cart with you,
yeah,
the cart's going to be there when you come back every single time.
Yeah, surely.
In Walmart, they had these really aggressive employees that would they would take them as if I had abandoned them.
Oh no.
And it happened 3 times in a row, and I was gone for like no more than 10 seconds, and they just kept taking away my carts, and I couldn't even find them. I had to like take a new one and take all the same items.
That guy was just hyped up for his job that day. He said he woke up today and he said, I'm gonna do the absolute most.
Yeah, this is gonna be a clean stuff. I was worried at one point if I was on part of some stupid show where like people were gonna be laughing at me like, he's going back for the 4th time to pick a new cart.
Some version of punked, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, we got your cart again, dude.
Just an aggressive employee. That round, a lot of talking from Godsent, obviously waiting around for a long time and eventually getting slaughtered in the B-bomb side. So we can all, don't need to really break that down much further. 9th round, though, is coming up, and they have AKs back in the hands on the Godsent side. Triple setup at the A-bomb side, double at the top of Banana. It's all super standard right now for players. It just all looks like the most default kind of Inferno you can play.
Not too much in terms of innovation in this round, but the utility battle at Banana was won by Godsent. We've got the pop flash for the corner. Nafany will swing with that one, but he's waiting for a sound cue or a timing for which he'll call Hobbit. Okay, that was the timing. Nobody was there. Now that there's another flash, got the reload.
Yeah, why not? They're going to try again. They're going to find anyone. And Lado's out there counting. Think, all right, there was one. Probably not going to be that many more. Nice timing on Shiro. These are the kind of kills you really expect Shiro to get. Dumao goes down. Again, we're biting into the clock a little bit now. 40 seconds, just about. And this is an Inferno Classic. Again, you lose a play, you're playing 4 on 5, you go B. It just feels like that's what people like to do. And Shiro, look at the amount of investigation he's doing. This is really solid work. The kill is obviously really cool, but now he's providing so much information. This should definitely be a player's round to win. They are primed in this B-bomb side. They know what is coming. Lado going down. Good return kill for Taco, pushing through the smoke. That's pretty cool to see, but they're still kind of out of time and also certainly running out of players. Hobbit getting another kill. Barton trying to get the reload in before they swarm him. They're right up behind him on Banana. Going to be a second more, and Shiro turns the corner. So, good, solid defense. I especially love to see Shiro going to check that top mid position. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, finds so much information for his team, allows for an earlier rotation, but I don't think there's a better player maybe in the world than Hobbit at Coffins. He is so good at dodging flashes during these B pops. He's so good at staying alive. The job of the Coffins player is always to get 1 and stay alive, and frequently he finds 2, and he can still stay alive sometimes. It's so impressive, his level of consistency there, and the fact that that spot is meant to get flashed by most executes, and yet Hobbit is almost never blind. He's able to hear the flash, spin out, and then get 1, fall back into the smoke, and it's like, what is our utility even doing if this guy just ignores everything?
It's very easy to assume as well, once you've thrown that smoke and more nades at that position, that at least you don't have to worry about it nearly as much. So it's very frustrating when it's always a threat anyway, right?
Always threads the needle in terms of his counterplay.
Do you think he says sneaky Coffins? I'm so sorry.
Sneaky Coffins. I get the reference there.
That's so stupid. I'm sorry. It's got some Deagles in play in this one. He's playing really far forward this time, getting naded a little bit. But again, they kind of have the control, and in a round like this, it's going to be hard for Godsent to do much. They already don't have a lot of nades to work with, and if they spend them clearing out Banana, then they can't really get to the next stage, which is getting into the bomb side. So I feel I know maybe it sounded a little bit like I was criticizing them earlier when I said they were playing sort of standard Inferno defense, but I think the thing is, if it works for them, then why do they need to do anything else, you know?
Absolutely. There's no reason to change up the formula when you've got a winning recipe for success. Hobbit rotates back in to his uber strong position.
Yeah, he's back where he feels at home.
Yep.
The setup outside, this kind of play can work on the T side, but you need that entry more than anything. If the first kill here happens in favor of players, then you know it's going to fall apart afterwards because it slows everything down. They're going to get another chance to sort of set everything up. Another good kill happening for Nafany before he dies. Oh, I like that. Catching Inters right at the edge, and they're going to catch Shiro as well. And players, I mean, the bomb isn't even down yet. I don't know why they're so aggressive or not aware out there. Feels like that's a bit of a mistake. And now it's a 2 versus 1. Exile. Only 15 seconds on the clock, so they're going to be a little bit careful. They picked up the bomb in the meantime, and they've dropped Exile very low. Grenade, not going to kill. Oh, what? It landed right on his forehead. Oh, and he has no armor, so he just explodes behind it. Question is, can Dumao hit the shot out here? They think they know that he's low because Dumao has the pistol out instead, so they probably realize that Exile is just a bullet away from death. And there it is, a headshot to boot as well. Nice triple for Dumao and an absolutely shocking round for Godsent.
Huge X-Factor play from Dumao to push CT to find the first, pick up the op, find a couple more. Well done by Dumao. That looks like such a standard play that players are usually so capable of eating up. They rarely lose these kinds of rounds, but forced back on the side, I think Hobbit actually may have gotten blinded, or he didn't like the timing in order to help out. So that's a rare occurrence, and Godsent are definitely loving that. This nade it couldn't have been better.
It actually is just sick, isn't it?
It's a millimeter from his forehead.
Yeah. I still can't believe Dumao, the headshot that he got on Inters is jumping away. And he wasn't even aiming anywhere near his head. It just recoiled right to his face. Hobbit's down to 1 health in this round. Man, if Godsent could win this round, they could take away so much of the cash that's happening on the CT side right now. So a lot to be accomplished. They can't quite force the eco, I think, so they're a little bit away from that. But it's a good step in the right direction.
That smoke that Exile threw it. That apartments player from Godsent is lucky to be alive. That's one of Exile's favorite little pieces of utility. Throws that one so frequently as it leaves gaps in the bottom corners. Okay, got an op-B-op duel. Henny is posted. He beats out Shiro. Big opener for Godsent, and we see how that makes players move. Considering the porch re-aggress, they just want some space, some information, but the flash is there. It's perfect from Taco.
Yeah, that's everything they wanted. I was going to say, this is the problem, though. They're playing against that 4-man setup at the A-bomb side, so if they underestimate how many people are here, they could still lose the round, but now they've at least got the kill. Inside, oh, the pit Hobbit, that is nearly the round 1. He nearly had the triple spray down. And let's see, Nafany walking through, going for it, flicking right onto ladder when he nearly hits the headshot, but it's Dumao to try and save them once again. Oh man, Hobbit was so close to winning the round right then and there.
It was an excellent rotation, very proactive to play there. You could see that Godsent, once they found those 3 kills, they let up a little bit. They didn't recognize that there was even anybody else there. But Godsent deserved this round. Playing for the punish was Henny, perfect flash to take down Exile. Everything they did in that round just felt like it made so much sense. So for it to even be that close, that just speaks volumes about the quality of the players.
This is the golden opportunity, though. If Godsent wanted to have some kind of crazy upset on this map, surely winning this round is going to be one of the more impactful things yet, because that'll certainly force the save on the side of players. It could get them to, you know, 8 rounds or something like that.
This round has a lot of economic implications on both sides. Everybody is poor right now.
Yeah, true. Ooh, they're not going to waste any time. Looks like they wanted to go pretty quick with it, but they set it up, and Dumao, he's ready. In through the smoke and everything. Headshot on Nafany. Hobbit now alone. They are making a couple of steps towards here, trying to get some more people in. Smoke goes up, Molotov behind it, forcing them to run through and take a lot of damage. This is some incredible defense. He is buying so much time right now for his team to come and help him out. Is it going to be quite enough? Ladder will take him down in a spin. He's ready for the push for the smoke. Inters. He really wanted to try and save Hobbit, but the round is done. They're already retreating. That is incredible work here for Godsent.
The flash from players from CT was not timed well with Hobbit's swing. That or it combined with a flash from Godsent. Either way, Hobbit basically swung full white, and that's not going to work out for him. Very well done from Godsent. Looked like the first player dying, Taco, was a little bit disconnected from the rest of the team, but then everybody stayed with the plan. They all moved forward together. They overwhelmed with numbers, and once again, they just put together a great site hit. And players are a team that can generally hold those. They very rarely have so much trouble. They usually make that very competitive, but just... Godsent, they're doing a really good job. And Dumao with that opener too, his reads right now are on point. He's making some huge plays as an individual.
And I think even before he fired a bullet, really, Hobbit, just the smoke and the Molotov down, I mean, that was close to buying enough time for Inters to... If Inters had been there like maybe 2 seconds earlier, that whole round is so different. So it's really not far off at all. But yeah, that is that's a pretty devastating little move from Lado.
That's a good, yeah, that's a really good double entry.
So 7-5, they get to save 2 rifles on the player side. That's maybe they can force up a little bit on some of the rest. I don't know, but regardless, it's starting to look a little bit grim for them here.
It's not what we expected. That's for sure. But it's still so dangerous against players. They always have some sort of win condition in these rounds.
Yeah.
The op from Shiro has been a little bit passive so far this game. In fact, 2 of his kills I remember vividly with the Deagle. Hasn't been able to get the sniper in as much play as he would have wanted, but now's the time to do it. Team relying on him to find impact. And he's running a double setup with Exile. Anybody pushing that halls, they're doomed.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky. Although it looks like maybe Godsent wants to give it a bit of a shot. Jumping past... Oh, coming back from what seems like a really bad idea. Takes a bit of damage, does force them back from that position and then towards the middle. You can see the chicken is already making an escape. Oh, nice shot. Even while flashed, he's going to be taking down Taco. 4 versus 5 now, and Shiro... Instead of falling back and playing it safe, he's going to go forward and try to even catch one more player. Executing Dumao is Inters. And now it's a 5 versus 3. And this is, again, with just pretty much 2 rifles at the outset. And they've made so much work with it here, players.
That Deagle kill from Inters might have saved Shiro's life. Shiro was thinking about re-aggressing, but Henny was holding the angle. But 5-on-3, you don't need to push if you're Shiro. You don't need to find the 5-on-2. So that is... I don't know if they know how close Shiro was to dying in that instance, but the rotation's already coming in. 3 players at B and Godsent. They have 2 smokes, nade, and a flash, but they're going for the contact play.
Yeah, which is kind of scary if you're Nefity here, because you might not... Ooh, Shiro's going to be showing up in time, though. And these are the kind of kills he is very good at getting. Absolutely rock solid. Big swing on that second one, catching him airborne. And Barton is on his own. And obviously no time to do much of anything here. Some more economic damage would have been fun, but it's not going to happen. He'll get the 1 kill. And this was... I mean, they're still doing a very good job, Godsent, but man, they had opened the door so wide to get that 8th round basically for much less effort against 2 rifles, and they couldn't get the job done.
One thing I'm a little bit confused about in this round from Godsent is the fact that Barton flashed off the op a couple of times, and I'm not sure if he spotted Shiro in apartments. I have to assume he didn't, or else if you're Godsent,
why come?
Why even go there? Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, though. But either way, I mean, Shiro delivered in that one. It's what they needed. And Dumao, very quick up banana, taken down by Hobbit. Oh, it feels like players are feeling empowered right now. As Hobbit pushes on forward, right there in this. That's just a perfect read. A perfect read from Hobbit.
Oh, it looks so casual when you underhand it as well.
Yep.
It doesn't really seem like he's tossing a grenade at him. It seems like he's sort of handing him a grenade. Here you go.
Passing it to him. Like rolling it to a baby.
Yeah. Awful imagery, but I get what you mean. It's 7-7. 15th round. Man, yeah, they got locked down. And again, when you take the swing on coming in from the T side, Dumao there, it's real tough when there's 2 people playing. You're swinging wide for it, so you're exposed to every angle. I mean, it's kind of what he's supposed to do in that. He's playing that position the way that he's supposed to. It's just, yeah, the setup kind of killed him.
This was a strong half for Godsent, and they definitely would have wanted to close it out with the lead at halftime. But now, players have brought it all the way back. This is potentially a winning half for players, despite how well Godsent put together those gun rounds.
It's crazy to imagine that they're tied up and Exiles only died 3 times.
Oh yeah,
He's
17-3.
That's crazy.
There has been some saving when they lost that B bomb site,
which is fine. I mean, like that even could be, you could even conceive of that as a huge positive, right? Exiles kind of, because he's been hanging out outside of the B bomb site. It's not like he's just been running away, but yeah, they've been able to keep the economy alive, maybe a little bit longer than other teams could have in this position.
Yep.
Nafany playing deep down there now. Hobbit right behind him.
Ooh. Wow, even with the smoke dissipating, he still decides to face it. Godsent don't have a lot of options in this round. 3 smokes, but as we can see, just upgraded pistols. And something I'm almost even more concerned about for their chances is 2 flashes. The smokes are nice, but you really need some flashes to take some space away from a team like players.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem without a doubt. And also, they're going to have to use these before even getting the bomb site, most likely. And then once you get in there, you get into the after plant, that's where you very often want another set of nades to try and do a little bit more. But that's definitely not going to be possible. Although, there is an opening here, unbeknownst to Godsent. Nafany is playing. He does have the Molotov, so he could probably shut that down. Yeah, gonna just put it up. Dumao, do you want to do it? If you use the smoke here, you could get through, but then you don't have it to block off CT spawn or coffins if that's what you're going for. 20 seconds. They are slowed down so much. And again, players know exactly what's coming. They're going to need some excellent opening kills. Definitely made very tricky. Nafany on the double. And Taco goes down. So solid hold here, no chance at all. And it's going to be an 8th round, 4 players, which is a pretty good real return here. But I've got to say, I'm impressed by Godsent. They've done a good job so far.
Solid half for Godsent on their map pick. They're headed now to the CT side. We'll find out if they're able to close this after this.
Rain. Twist. Jacob. GKs. Guardian.
Carrigan.
Rops.
Roban.
Wait, didn't I say that one already?
No, it was the coach. Roban.
What?
You didn't say it.
I can't think of anything.
Nice! I got the French one, you got the American ones. Shocks.
Kenny S.
Oh no, don't take the French because no.
Because I know you don't believe it.
Happy.
Apex.
NBK.
Nifty.
Kiyoshima.
JDM.
Next, it was the coach.
Frozen. Dexter.
Miffa.
Psychro.
Cadian.
Chris J.
Tizian.
Tapsen.
Bimas.
Simple.
JDC.
Keine Ahnung mehr. Marka.
Lambert.
Haji.
Sixer.
Chaos.
NBK.
Mann, das ist mein. I hate this game now.
Creams.
Brolin.
Messi.
Alex.
Banjo.
Flusha.
Pepe.
Olaf Meister.
JW.
Pronax. Nico.
Monesi.
RPK.
Hunter.
Smith.
Jax.
NBK.
Amanek.
A cut right down the middle, 8-7, with the players getting just a little bit more in that first half on Inferno. Was it enough, Maui?
Godsent picked the map,
yeah.
So it should be.
Okay.
Theoretically, it should be enough. You should be more confident on your CT side of things. Godsent, oh, they're showing some confidence right now. Going down middle fast. Barton right here, and Lado and Henny connect with 2 kills. Barton just fighting down middle. He's in the middle of the open right now. All right, Shiro will finally punish him, and he was far away from his teammates. But now players, they are in a very tough situation.
Yeah, both those 2 opening headshot kills were assisted by Taco flashbanging them in. I'd love to see how that works out. And even the 3rd kill wasn't really Taco's flashbang, but it was another, I can't remember who was the assist there, but basically 3 opening kills assisted by flashbangs running down the middle. Super impressive.
Cool way to start things off. The last thing you want to do against players is play a slow, drawn-out round where you have to put a lot of different information and pieces together. Exactly. So taking out the first 30 seconds of a round and just playing it on your own terms, that's one way to do it. That's a cool approach. And Godsent are rewarded for it.
Yeah, I actually generally like that kind of opening on the CT side also because it takes away some of the coin flip nature of a pistol round anyway. You're not kind of like stuck in a bomb side waiting to see, oh, are they going to come out? Is our stack working? It's like, no, we're making sure that this fight is going to happen exactly where we want it. All right, they've snuck around, wrapped around Arch, and they've basically isolated themselves a 2-on-2 here, which if they can win, they can get back into the game a little bit more, at least into the round. But they're running out of time while that's happening, and the reinforcements are coming in Graveyard. Henny is waiting around. A bomb plant, it's actually pretty respectable. The fact that they were in a 2-on-2, or sorry, 2-on-4, and they still got the bomb down and got another kill, I mean, that's pretty decent.
There's been an argument, actually, in the meta of the game, whether Taco and Henny should have full committed to stopping the plant, even risk giving up an advantageous position just to stop the plant. What is your take, Anders? What do you think about that?
It's kind of
fighting to the death right there, maybe ending the round, but deny the plant, but you also give up the chance that you guys could both die in an instant.
Yeah, that's kind of tough, right? Because
Very tough.
I understand the nature of it because what happens when the plant happens is the T side almost has a better buy in the upcoming round than you do.
Exactly.
So I suppose, man, there's probably no hard rule that you could set for that.
Right.
But
I don't think there is.
It might be that in certain circumstances you might have to like have a conversation in the team about weighing that bomb plant more and saying like that's actually really important. Like we need to make sure because I mean they've definitely bought. Oh, there's an M4A4 in play. That's a rare sight on Lado. Oh, yeah. But either way, they bought 2 M4s. They bought 2 from us. So that's kind of even that is like a sign that they know there was a bomb plant. We're gonna be up against those strong buy.
Right. It is. Henny just misses the timing on Hobbit. And players, they're making their way into bracket. All 5 here. Henny, oh, spots him. Nades out. Good damage onto Hobbit. That'll slow him down on top of it. But Hobbit, he just got right through the smoke. Henny doesn't expect this. That's a sneaky play from Hobbit.
Very, very good job. Molotov will slow them down. I think if that doesn't happen and they swing... Oh, Lado with that M4A4. Taking down Exile. Now it's back to a 4-on-4. This A-bomb side is really, really exposed right now. That wraparound from Arch is just pure death if you're inside of the A-bomb side. But they've got another kill, this time in CT spawn. So they're actually doing surprisingly well right now, Godsent. Part of the push is flanked off towards CT spawn and now moving to B-bomb site while they're leaving Inters. Yeah, they're going to come back. He's up here with the Tech 9. I'm not sure anyone's going to be expecting it. It could be flying right off that balcony and down towards the pit. And that might be a little bit of trouble for Taco with that MP9. Down to 15 seconds now. Ooh, and they land a headshot. It's Nafany and Barton. He's zoned out. There is nothing he could do. And this is what we warned everyone about. They slow down the game, and their decision-making in the last 20 seconds of a round is so ridiculous.
It's so strong. The mid-rounding from players it's the best. It's some of the best in the world. There's a reason they're a top-tier team, because when they slow things down like that, I wonder who called it. I really wonder who called it. I would expect it to be Nafany, but anybody could have chimed in. Hobbit could have said, wait a second, guys. You have 1 apartments. You guys are 2 in CT. If you run to B right now, it's a rough situation to try to force yourself in to B with 25 seconds left, but you could just crunch onto A, and Godsent were in a 2-2 setup. I think we talked about it another day, being in 2-2 on Inferno, even when you're up 4v3, it's sometimes not enough.
It can still backfire. Yeah, I think if they'd gone to B, the logic would have had to have been that Shiro up in the hallways up in A could have caught someone rotating, but then you still need to get into B, and you don't necessarily know if you're going to do that yet. So, and it's also just that I think what's really makes some of these decisions impressive is the time that's left. It's so easy when you look at
10 seconds.
Yeah. And
they're
even
so confident.
Even when they're walking towards B, when it's maybe, what, like 25 seconds or something, that's mega stressful. Normally, that's where you just make mistakes left and right, because you're just thinking, well, we have to run, we have to start to do something, right?
Yeah.
But they use every single second so optimally.
There's always that guy on a team that says time when there's 20 seconds left. But I don't think anybody on players does. They all just know.
Yeah. Very, very hard to deal with. Well, they have the M4, they have the FAMAS saved from the previous round. And they spent everything in this one, Godsent.
All in. And it's 4A for Godsent. Triple porch side setup with Lado with the lone M4 on that long side. He might just get smoked out of the round, though. That'll be rough, because the teammates on porch, they're all just working with pistols. Oh.
It's not really perfect, is it?
No, that's not how things are supposed to go. Oh man.
I was gonna say it might not cost him, but maybe it will. Henny is back with double headshots. And he's still alive. He's managed to make his way back around the corner now, a 2-on-2. A little bit before Dumao gets here, but Henny does have another headshot in him. Almost could have worked. Nafany very low on health now. Still some time, but Dumao, he's got a Molotov. I don't know if he realizes, but they're both inside of the side. That Molotov could be huge for him. He's sneaking through. The smoke is right on top, but he just keeps on marching forward, getting one of the kills. Oh, what happened? Nafany, no way.
Oh, man. So confident, Nafany. I have to say, I love the way that players cleared Henny out. The double peek vertically, that's so frustrating if you're Henny to see that. There's no way you could have good target selection when that's how you are being swung on. But yeah, the messed up flash, this was much more hectic than players would have wanted. This was all over the place, and they used a surprisingly light amount of utility to get bracket control. I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't use anything else. They just wanted that flash, and when it didn't work, they still committed. That seems a little bit like they just threw their hands up and said, you know what, we can still do this.
It's dangerous, right? Because in some weird way, flashbangs, obviously the primary purpose is to blind the enemy. But they serve as a weird secondary function in actually alerting the enemy to what's going on, right?
Yes.
So when you fail one, it's like, ooh, that could be a bit of an issue sometimes. And I mean, there are whole setups, right, where all you're doing on the CT side is waiting to hear a flashbang, and then you have some kind of follow-up execute or some sort of trick that you pull. So maybe could have been a good time to rethink it. This is a nice move for Inters. And very frustrating, obviously. This B defense is no more.
Unfortunately, Godsent had some really nice timing on their swings in this round. They just didn't have good guns.
Yeah.
They could have found a couple kills here if they had rifles, but players will put themselves on 11, and the last players from Godsent, they'll just keep holding here, hope that someone comes to hunt. You'd probably want to send Inters out. I mean, there's actually almost no harm in doing that.
Yeah, why not?
It's actually simply worth it if he finds 1 kill. This is... You don't even necessarily want the MAC-10. I mean, it's okay. Some people like it for first gun round, but... Okay, actually...
Oh, he's going to keep it cool?
Well, let's keep an eye on what he does next round then, because if he just wants to keep that MAC-10, you could do any variety of plays with him. Fast up porch, banana rush, with just him. Even a Halls pop would send him out first, and he does the little air strafe out onto the porch side itself. All of those are cool little ways to involve a MAC-10 on a gun round.
We're just now starting the 20th round, and Exile has still only died 6 times.
What a monster.
It's so ridiculous. How does that happen?
Man, he is incredibly sharp. Everybody on players is so good. I don't even have a better way to put that. They're really, really strong individuals.
Yeah, it really feels like there really aren't many weak links to point to. They have also kind of very different skills. It's such an interesting team. It really is. All right, we've got some rifles back on the side of Godsent now. Probably a little bit limited in some of the nades. You can see they got no more flashbangs at all on the CT side. But we'll see. Maybe they can. Maybe they could still put together a round. Going to be challenging to hold on to these nades for a long time, and you know you're going to have to probably against players. It's very likely that a lot of the action is going to be happening past the 30-second mark, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Oh, that is very cool.
Man, that's an interesting way to punish anybody that has to rotate out of quad side.
Yeah, and they throw up the smoke towards Arch, so if you were playing underneath the canopy over there, maybe you might even be thinking, okay, now's my cue to leave. And then you try, because there's still a smoke in the middle, you try to fall back, and you're like, oh, I'm dead.
Yep. It's a well put together default for players. It does look like they want to go for the Halls pop here, yeah. I gotta expect that Inters is jumping out first. Okay, well, now Hobbit. Now it's Hobbit. But the flash is there for the balcony side player, but there's nobody playing Balk.
Yeah, Dumar has a Molotov, but I don't think he really used it in time. I think it's going to be really tricky. Barton goes down. Taco waiting in the pit, and they're going to be right on top of him. It's actually a pretty good job that he even gets the 1 kill. He might as well have just gone down immediately. Dumar, yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for, because there's not that much time left. I was wondering if he could have got to library in time to toss it in there, but it doesn't seem like it's quite possible now. Smoke is up, nade right on top, and I don't think they almost have to back off here, because that smoke is just so well timed.
No kit, just a Molotov. This is a save.
Yeah.
This has got a save written all over it. Hobbit was the entry fragger in this one. He goes for the air strafe, like I mentioned earlier, and he's still alive. That's when the play goes very well. When your entry fragger is still alive, that's when everything worked. So, well put together by players. Every stage of that round looked really solid for them. The default, even though they didn't net kills in the default, the fact that they were able to just take that space so cleanly, and there we go. See Hobbit flying on out. Double peek as well. Players they're so thorough about these kinds of things.
Yeah. It's a lot of trouble when that smoke goes up, and the nade is also annoying, but when that smoke goes up, it's even a problem of not knowing whether they have more nades. So even if you did decide in that 3-on-3 to wait out the smoke and try and go for the really late retake, let's say even if you had the defuse kit, you could be waiting for a long time, and then there could be an extra Molotov that you would like. It's just very tricky.
It's a nearly impossible call to make. It's one of the few drawbacks of just Inferno is that some of those retakes are, if you don't have great position in the first 5 seconds, it's tough to justify.
Well, a bit of a timeout. I don't know, the scoreline is kind of close. I mean, 12-8 is not really a disaster for Godsent, but to me, players just look so confident right now. They feel like they're in such control of the game at the moment.
I think the score looks very close, but the fact of the matter is Godsent only have a single round on CT side so far, and it was the pistol.
Yeah.
So they've got to find a way to make a gun round work for them. Got Taco in the halls. Players with a very passive approach at the beginning of this round, recognizing that the way they clear out all space on this map is efficient enough. You don't need to force the issue too early on.
Something interesting too, there's this 4-round gap that we're looking at, but when I look at the kills, I've got Henny and Dumao at 12 and 15 as like the top in double digits on the Godsent side, but on the other side, I've got 17 on Nafany, Hobbit on 20, Axel on 20.
Yeah.
So that is a huge output difference, just if you look at sort of the top weighted part of it. So I don't know, the fact that it's only a 4-round gap is almost a little bit of a mystery if you had to view it through the lens of at least the kills. Doesn't always work out that way, obviously, but it seems like maybe players, in a way, have had a bit more control of this game than the score would suggest right now. Flash around the corner there, Taco. That's a good idea. Hobbit jumping to try and avoid some of the bullets at the very least. It's down to 65, and they are going to be wrapping this bomb site. Barton, not much he could do. 3 bullets left on Inters. He could have probably waited. Oh, and he's going to get run down, isn't he? Nice punishment coming in there, but still, the bomb site is lost, and they could maybe go for a retake. Nice shot from Henny for the smoke. I don't know, 3-on-3? You're kind of running out of runway. If you keep saving, that's also an issue.
Well, there's no smoke this time. Shiro's holding on to one. Gotta wonder when he's going to throw that. It does look like they want to go for the retake. Oh, that molly misses the mark. Again, it's very hard to justify this for Godsent. If that molly hit, maybe it forces somebody out and you make it a 3-on-2. Yeah, send it. But when it doesn't, then you're out of luck there. Talking about the kills, though, and how it's very uneven how players have so many more than Godsent. This is kind of a fun thing from the last week of Pro League. When Furia actually beat ENCE on Mirage in the series that they played in Group B. Anybody out there, any fans, take a look at the kill spread on Mirage in Map 3. Every single player from Furia was negative, and they won the game, and 3 of the players from ENCE were positive. The game sometimes tells a very different story than the stats sheet does. It's fun how Counter-Strike can be like that, though.
Yeah, I think the fact that that's possible is one of the things that adds like a very interesting depth that otherwise, if everything was just aligned along kills all the time, we'd
be playing a different game.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be lacking a dimension on some level. That's definitely nice to have. Pretty common setup right now on the CT side. Shiro expecting that maybe they could go for some kind of a boost. It seems like they're setting up for a double nade going pretty deep. Okay, that's not bad. Will help out. Obviously, even 15 or 11 damage or whatever it is, even a little bit of damage like this is still pretty good in terms of when you eventually get to the AK versus M4 fight.
Yes.
It evens things out.
Yep. Yeah, it all matters. All the chip damage matters. If it's 20 or more damage with a nade, it's a good nade on CT side. Something that you don't always have to hit the home run nade.
Yeah.
All right, Lado's in a position where he might actually be able to find a handful of headshots. This is a really cool off angle, but gives it up. Goes for the normal boost spot.
That's a smooth exchange of nades. Throws one, gets one. Like to see it. Oh, they're walking right through, and that's a really quick play, but the boost comes in, huge for them, and Dumao also picking up another one. Shiro, I was shocked that he managed to get that kill. They should have lost this round already, and there's only 25 seconds. I can't really imagine a world in which players will find a way to actually win this round. Godsent have really drawn far back. They're trying not to give them any more kills. They want to make sure they try and get that bomb plant, and you could see, Shiro's out looking, he's thinking, you know what? Could I do it? 9 seconds?
He's got the bomb too, Shiro. This round's over. I'm a little surprised they didn't try to force the plan at one point, but
yeah, me too.
They just keep their guns alive.
Oh! You cursed him, Maui.
Death after time. Okay, Taco, nice nade there to take the op away from Shiro, and Shiro was not on. He didn't have actually too much money. He was on 3,900.
Promise me you won't talk about Harry in a maid's outfit. No, that was some real curse right there.
Wow. It's just a little smile from Taco. He knows there's still a lot of work to do.
Yes, there is. Second round on the CT side for Godsent, so they need to do a lot more. Money is not really with them just yet. finally another death for Exiles. Far and few between right now.
Just thinking about the last round, just kind of a uncharacteristic play from players to even push through that smoke. That's interesting call, but it's going to keep Godsent on their toes. Just throwing that out there, even if it's a loss, now you have to respect those sort of situations if you're Godsent. It's going to make you think for the future. You're never truly safe now. You just got to stay on your guard.
Boost up behind the, or on top of the new box back there. Can be Molotov, often is Molotov, which can make things a little bit awkward. Dumao, though, moving forward towards the coffins. If you don't run in on the T side and check that position directly, you're going to be dead before you really get a chance. Smoke is pretty well timed again, just around at 38-second mark. I think that's pretty cool for Godsent that they had more left still. Very often that you simply don't have that. And Dumao, does he still have more? He still has a Molotov, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, wow, that's incredible, actually.
That's coming out right now. That's well timed. There will still be about 12 seconds left for players to get into the site after this Molotov fades, though.
They tried to Molotov out Lado, but he's still up here. I think that Molotov was probably meant to hit him as well. And yeah, this is a shutdown. Dumao, not just providing the incredible grenade support, but also picking up the double kill. Absolutely stunning round for him. And again, players are just going to wait out the time here, or they're forced to, really. This time they're going to come look for them again. Hobbit goes down, and Shiro, the AWP will at least live, but that is so cool.
Okay, Godsent understand the timing of players now. They know that they have to hold nades, and they're doing an excellent job at it. That is a very reassuring sign that a comeback is possible now for Godsent. You have to think that players will call for a tempo shift, a pace change. They got to work a little bit faster to make Godsent fear the faster plays, because at this point, that's generally the counter for a slow-playing team like players. If you just hold on to that molly and smoke at 35 seconds, that's when they want to strike most, and you can just shut them out of a round.
Yeah, that was a very, very good illustration we just saw on that B-bomb side.
Players know they got to change it up. That's what the timeout's for there. They only have the op from Shiro, so might not be in this round. Might just see him slow work that, but in the next gun round, you have to expect that the pace, the tempo, it shifts.
Still wonder, because the problem with the style that players otherwise like to play on the T side and the B-bomb side is you can't really do this thing where you sort of like push halfway and sit and wait, because you're just, I don't know, you're just sat in a crossfire. But they could do it on Archway, right? If they push in and take Arch on the T side and hold it there, that would be a classic way for them to play the run. Just see if Godsent know how to react, and if they get desperate and go out looking. So it could also be that they could keep the same kind of philosophy, but just apply it in a space that's maybe a little bit more open to it than the B-bomb side is.
That's true. It's been the B players that have been tested with the late rounds,
yeah,
and the A guys have yet to test their mettle. So we'll see. And it does seem like there's still some good nade management for Godsent, but again, this is with players on pistols and a single op, so slightly different story. That should be good.
Well done. Yeah. No, it's again, I kind of understand what they're doing here in terms of moving Shiro around looking. I don't know what else that really meant. So I think it's perfectly respectable. But if they don't get that opening pretty soon with the AWP, probably they're going to have no real chance of having a say in this round. Ooh, Molotovs are back, yeah. And again, even now, at about 35 seconds, there's still 2 Molotovs left, so that's pretty rare.
Okay. Lado's going to be the one tested. Finds one. Good trade from Shiro. 26 seconds left, though, and players are pretty far from that bomb site.
They might just save this.
Hobbit's creeping on up. They're testing it. They're looking for something. No, 15 seconds. The flash is there, but you can't get in now. Henny finds Hobbit, and Shiro's already thinking about the save. He's an alt mid.
Yeah. But, I mean, the fact that they were still testing that round almost all the way up to the end, I think it shows you something. If Godsent make a mistake in that moment and they think, okay, it's done. Like, let me just swing library and see what's going on. If you lose another player or two, even at 11 seconds, I mean,
they can get in.
Yeah, they're gonna go for it. They're gonna try.
Yeah. It's so weird to play against this if you're Godsent and you just don't have the experience against teams like this.
Yeah.
You're just playing a different mental battle than what you've been practicing for however long. It's something that when these teams come to Europe, the North American and South American ones, they have to change the way that they view the game entirely.
Yeah, and a lot of those decisions that you make in the final 20 seconds of a round, it's not even, I mean, sometimes not even thing you really think about, right? It's just you've been pre-programmed to kind of know that the round is probably more or less done at that point, especially when you're playing, you know, like 4-on-5 or 3 versus 5 or something. You think, like, yeah, that's it, like that, you know.
Right.
And then you let your guard down for a second and it's not over at all.
Right.
But look at what Godsent are doing. 13-11. They actually started to walk their way back into this game. I think this is pretty impressive. So I'm starting to believe a little bit more now. I was getting fairly skeptical. Their money is looking good now on the CT side. And players are kind of hitting a brick wall. But now they're going to try and change the pace. This is early on from their point of view. 50 seconds. Lado gets the kill on Nafany, and they're going to try and set up a little bit of a boost, but they still keep marching forward. Exile, he's inside of the smoke, and the bomb is being brought into the site. Boost is going on, and no one's holding it, so that could have gone horribly wrong. They could have both been dead right then and there.
All right, Molotov. But it doesn't catch anybody. All right, Axel's pushing on forward, though. Oh, man. That might have been a missed opportunity, but Dumao's up close. He falls down at Emo. Just a trade of utility. And Dumao, he heard the player fall already towards Emo. He might not expect Hobbit to still be up there, but he's still able to catch him. Swings out, and Axile's ready for that fight. Now, Axile, he's in a very tough situation. There's a player coming up from Banana right now, going to eliminate him. All down to Shiro, 1-on-3. Barton finds the kill, and Henny, he's got the kit, he's got the stick, and Godsent find a 12th round.
That is a very, very good retake. It's a bit scary, but they got the job done. That follow-up jump onto the coffins, the catch Hobbit back there is super, super important. Because he is really the key to that afterplan Hobbit when he's all the way at the back of the site like that. And the late lurk coming in from Banana is obviously very hard to read as well. You see Axel, as soon as Hobbit dies, he feels so exposed from this position. He realizes, oh, I can't really stay here.
That late push up Banana from Taco is also so risky because if there's nobody Banana, he's not making it to the bomb in time. If there's still backside, back new box, back emo, his flank is useless, but it worked out for him that time.
Tech9's Hall, surely.
Yeah, surely a Hall's pop.
You can see it from the position, you can see it from the weapons, it all makes sense. And this is the position that normally does get flashed, so I think it all comes down to this flashbang. If it works perfectly and they jump over the initial wild spray from Taco, then maybe it'll work, but...
It's usually meant to flash Taco's position.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, actually he fell down into pit, so it's a chance he dodges it.
Let's see. Waiting around, counting the seconds.
He's moving in and out of the position that gets flashed.
Yeah, well, that's how it is. I mean,
it's hard to gauge.
That's probably true. Like a lot of the time when you're playing Counter-Strike, you know, you're in the danger zone and you don't even really know it.
Okay, now he's not gonna get blind. Yeah, but either way. Okay, players actually slowed it down a little bit. It's actually a little bit heavier towards porch side.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna make the single jump out. No real flash setup here, but Taco is still gonna be going down. Shiro with the headshot to take down any or the wallbang, in fact. And at range as well. This worked out incredibly well for the T side. Lado and Dumao, 2 versus 3. Trying for a bit of a grenade into the corner, and that is actually gonna blow up Shiro. Still a lot to be done, and that smoke is fresh. They just put it up, although they're going to create a pocket in between the two smokes to try and make their way through. What a great way to try and use those smokes offensively. And Dumao, he's spotting them down in the pit. Does he realize that they're both there? I don't know. He's going to tap the bomb and force one of them out, and maybe they know. Oh, this retake is looking good. Hobbit with the headshot, though. And Dumao, could he find a space? Could he see it? Hobbit, he swings, and he gets the headshot. Well played. His 25th kill. And they are just a step closer now, players. 14 rounds.
Godsent simply did not expect the double big pit setup from players. Well done. And that Halls pop, that porch split, all of it worked out so well. The flash, the way that Hobbit was able to get into the pit, everything, the spacing, very well drilled stuff from players. Godsent, though, they made that incredibly competitive. That was a 2v1 at one point. And like you said, Anders, the way that pocket was created in order to help out on the retake, all of it was very nice. And you can tell that was just a very well drilled round from both teams.
Yeah, and it kind of, I mean, we had a similar round earlier where that smoke went up towards what I call Little Pit, Moto, I guess. Mm-hmm. And they just backed out Godsent. But this time they showed, well, actually, if they throw that smoke, we have a counter. We just need a smoke of our own, and we can actually use your smoke to against you in a little bit, in a slightly convoluted way, but still pretty cool.
It allows him to set it up. It allows him to throw his own smoke behind it.
So, 14 to 12. Money, not amazing for Godsent. Only really Barton has any real cash. Not looking great either for players. This feels like a very, very important round.
For both teams.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Oh, and he wants that shot back.
And not only does he miss it, but he kind of almost looked like on instinct, just immediately throws the Molotov, right? So now he missed the shot, he doesn't have the Molotov anymore, and now they're through, walking in towards CT spawn. And are they going to keep going, or are they going to call the freeze? 35 seconds, I guess, yeah. They just want to power on through. Only 2 people defending, but they're in a very uncomfortable position, pushed all the way back. There is still a smoke on Nafany. They could try and just block it off here and maybe go for the bomb plant right away without having to fight too much. Yeah, right on top. A sensible choice. 18 seconds, but the cavalry's here. They're coming up banana. Oh, what a push. Wow. Barton as well. They stopped the bomb plant. And that is an excellent defense. Players, they were so close to making this work, but it's been yanked out from under them.
This was such a good response from Godsent to send 3 down mid, to recognize where the play is. And once players made their positions known by running, Godsent just full sent it. That, even if they killed the players in coffins, Godsent were right there. They were ready for it. And that's just very well done by them. A little bit of a mishap in terms of this smoke landing, not in the perfect spot. And it does allow Godsent a little bit, an angle to get onto the site. But either way, even if the smoke isn't good, I'm almost convinced that Godsent would have still taken it, because they were there so fast. They were right on their heels.
That makes this game so much more interesting now.
Yes.
14-13. I still wonder if there is a different world, even at 35 seconds. It feels like the kind of round where players could have called for a break almost in CT spawn just to test. Because if those people from the A bomb side, I mean, a lot of them rotate, I think, through banana. But if they rotate through CT spawn a little bit too quickly, then like that's where you make a mistake very often against this particular team. So they were feeling the pressure, and maybe that is the pressure getting them a little bit too. Starting to catch up a lot, the Brazilian side.
Starting to mount. Godsent have made this competitive, and they're looking to tie the scoreline here. Just the op and play for players, and Shiro already got forced off of B. Now he'll be looking for something towards Arch side. This is a good setup from players. They have some good utility to find this Arch space, but converting is still very difficult. However, Godsent only have 2 players on A. That might be the one saving grace, the one opportunity for players.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially that double setup, if one of them dies early on, you can't hold the rest alone. You just cannot do it. Nice nade at the feet of 3 players.
What? Oh! Are you kidding?
No way!
What?
He shot him right through the wall, Maui. That is not legal. Oh, Shiro.
Well, just no word. What? Shiro finds an entry by just simply having game sense. There's no other way to put that. He just shoots the wall, whether that's prep or just a blind shot. I can't explain it other than the fact that players now will be winning this round. That is unbelievable. And Taco,
possibly something involving tarot cards or something. And so I don't know what's going on. Like, what is happening? I would love to see Taco's reaction. How does a human being deal with that?
Taco feels like I did nothing wrong. I didn't peek. I didn't do anything wrong. I was staying alive for the team.
I was behind a cement wall.
Yes, that's the only thing Shiro could have done. to find that.
Check this stupidity out.
What?
We're doing it. His gun barrel's not showing.
There's just no reason for that. There's no reason for that, Shiro. That's not okay.
Oh
man, and then he gets the pixel kill onto him too.
Yeah, that is definitely not okay.
What?
But here we are. Listen, I've often found that reality actually doesn't conform with what I consider to be okay.
1 HP.
Yeah, and yet that's the world that we live in. So 15-13. Godsent need maybe deserve 2 more rounds to fight for overtime. That's hard to recover from. How do you deal with that?
Mentally, it's a tough blow. But we've seen Godsent bounce back from adversity before. They're not out of it just yet. They still have a good buy for themselves. At least it wasn't on any kind of reset round. And this might be the Hall's pop coming out for players. Smoke's there for Shiro. Gotta wonder if there's a flash to set this whole play up as well.
Taco sent Barton into that position now. He's like, you can be in it. Don't want to be here anymore. Oh, that actually gets extinguished. That's a real shame, because that would have been incredible timing. They still have 3 players here, but Taco, he's so... Yeah, if he throws another one into the smoke, that's a big issue. This one has to be clean, and he's going to try and toss it in there. Nice headshot for Barton. And let's see, 28 seconds. They're inching their way forward. Players, look at the pace here. Even at this close to the bomb site, tapping away. That is a crazy entry kill for Inters. But Barton's still down here fighting, and he's doing an excellent job trying to buy time. Axel will get the kill. 10 seconds now on the clock, and it's a 2-on-2, and they're going to go for the bomb plant here. The slow creep of players as they walk out onto the balcony. That is such a rare sight. Axel, low on health. He sees the shadow. He sees just a bit, but Dumao able to actually edge out the kill anyway. And now it's on Shiro, 1 versus 2. And he's in a very open position. Gets the instant headshot, spins around at Dumao. He's already made it past. He knows, and he gets the shot, saving Godsent and making them play yet another round. Oh, God, it's close.
Very well done from Dumao there. 2 wall bangs to find those final 2 frags. Players made that as scary as could be for Godsent. The way that they used that instant bloom hay cart smoke to find some space towards the balcony, and that attempt to convert, it was good, but the way that they peeked Barton 1 by 1 is probably their undoing. They've been very good at double peeking thus far, but yeah, I gotta see that shot back from Dumao.
So well done.
Wow. Man, Dumao's had a lot of impact this game, but handful of rounds been off the back of him finding a multi-frag that seemed nearly impossible.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the scoreline for scoreboard for Godsent, he's 26, and to the next in line, it's Lado and it's Barton, both at 17 kills. So the drop-off is significant, and yeah, without him, they already have lost this map without a doubt. So
for sure,
good to see.
For sure. Still, round 30, players have a bye to work with. Obviously, we've got 4 Galils, though.
Now, you studied philosophy. Is there any reason to believe that the universe is just and that Godsent gets overtime? Is there any evidence that it works like that?
Man, there's a few schools of thought you could put together to make a case for that, and I'm gonna say yes. Okay. I'm gonna say Godsent do it.
So they have some hope. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I really want to see that. As cool as it is to see Shiro shooting them through the walls, I feel like that's just robbery, isn't it? Oh man, I still can't believe that happened. Well,
that was the shot of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. Very similar setup. They keep switching. This time it's Henny down to the pit. It was Barton last round. It was Taco to his detriment before that. But they're sort of cycling people in and out of the pit, which is fair enough.
It's almost like no one wants to play it.
Yeah, it's cursed now. Leave it alone. Lado and Dumao, they haven't been tested at this B-bomb side for a minute, and that could even be the thinking for players, sort of saying, you know what, maybe they're a little bit cold out here. Testing top mid now, but again, going top mid is very often, I've almost contradictory, but it is actually almost the first sign that you're going to go B. Could very often be clearing it out and coming back for that banana position. 45 seconds.
Yeah, boost being assembled by the B players. This is a setup that they've run before. There's a little bit of nade pressure, but the main hit is towards A.
Yeah, they've definitely gone and done that. 30 seconds. Barton is actually in so much trouble. Hobbit, big opening, and they're in trouble now. Taco and Henny, they're in the only ones that can maybe save this round. Henny, could he swing for it down in the pit? That's not quite a kill. And Taco in the corner, he gets the one he needs. More good headshot. Henny's dead in the meantime. The pistol's out, but very low on health. Is Nafferty next to him? Does he even realize? I don't think he knew. He had no idea. Nafferty was right there. And with just 7 seconds left, the bomb is going to be planted. And once again, they have to pick up the phone and call Dumao to try and save them out of this one. And it's going to be probably the most difficult one yet. He gets one, swings, and gets the double. But Shiro is there, and 3 was just too much. It's 16-14 as players win the opening map.
Very well done from players to close this one out, but also credit to Godsent for making it so close. They understood the adaptations that they needed in order to make this a very competitive map 1 against players. The favorites still win, but I think there's a lot to be happy about on the Godsent side.
Yeah, absolutely. And this could have worked out. They could have won this map or at least got it overtime, but they didn't get a chance to this time. We'll see if they could do better in the second half. That is going to be coming right up, so stay tuned.
Oh my god, this guy is so good. 2 at the same time? 3? 5?
Welcome back, everyone. Final match of the day here at ESL Pro League, and we have got players versus Godsent. We are on the second map. It's on Overpass. It nearly went to overtime on that first one on Inferno, but Godsent just couldn't quite make it. What do you think of Overpass between these two teams? Is that a good or a bad sign for Godsent, who won that third map?
It's a bad sign, Anders. Yeah, they haven't played this map as 5 yet. The last time that they went for it, they played it against ATK, and that's right before they removed Phelps, because they lost. That was their chance at the RMR, and so Godsent, there's some redemption to be found here. Oh, okay. What a shot.
Sick. Actually, what they're doing right now, because I watched that demo that you're talking about against ATK, what they're doing right now, pushing all the way up to the playground and birthday, is something they almost never did against ATK. They let them have all the map space on that side forever and ever and ever, and I think that's a huge no-no when you're playing the CT side of Overpass. So I hope that's gonna, sort of go into the further rounds when they have rifles. The bomb, though, is being planted. That's a great nade onto Inter, so a chance now. This is not going to be necessarily an easy retake. They do have a kit, and they do have a smoke as well. So if they could put that smoke up just right, maybe Dumao could get a little bit of action in. They're setting up all the flashbangs, and they come running right for the smoke, bouncing into the bomb site. Henny with another kill, but Intas is down here, and that Glock is doing so much work. Hobbit trying to see if he could maybe fall back around that L-bend, and now it's a 2-on-2, and that bomb is already fairly far ticked, so they need to be quick with it. Dumao trying to see if he could tap it and maybe force someone out, but they're going to end up falling one by one, and it will be players to open up and win the pistol on Overpass.
Those were excellent retake flashes from Godsent. For anybody that wants to take them to their own team, that's one to look at, because they gave them a lot of space, and one of the only things that helped players there is that they had that second smoke for late round. That's huge. Makes that entry job so much more difficult, but also good post-plant positions from players. They didn't put all of their members in the pit. Sometimes people overstack that. They stay too much on the site. They had almost a first wave of defense and a second wave.
Yeah. And the ability to fall back through Monster Tunnel and for the L-bend in the sewers is just very, very frustrating to having to hunt people down.
It gives you just so many options in the post plant. Pistols here for Godsent, not a single upgrade on any of the remaining players. In fact, there's only one remaining player, and now there are none.
They're all gone. Balloon's still intact, though, so there is that.
Still a party.
It's a third round, and they're gonna buy already on the Godsent side.
Oh, no head armor on Nafme. Just Just a little detail.
Slight bump, yeah.
Something to note.
No armor on Henny, so there's a glass cannon AWP. Not necessarily a big problem, especially on overpass. There's a lot of distance here. But I'm so curious to see if they are going to, because basically the setup that they have now with Henny and Lado, that's kind of how they played it when they played against ATK. And actually, this exact triple boost they also did against ATK, which seems to be something that they are that they're interested in trying to do. But the problem if you don't apply any pressure to this part of the map, especially against a team like players who are already slow. So that means if you're not here, they're going to be at the restrooms a little bit quicker, and then they're going to have more time to set up whatever elaborate late round plan they have. Lado, though, is at least in this position. He should have the shadow advantage. If they double swing against him, he might still get traded. Ooh, ducking right under. That was...
it's a clean peek from Nafany.
Was.
Yeah, the crouch, uncrouch.
Oh, they're hunting him.
Yeah. Henny's pinched. Smokes one side of himself off, and there's a molly in front of him. Still able to pick up the kill, though. He's doing a good job of maintaining this space right now. Godsent, they want to rotate up to help Henny, but they're blocked off by a smoke of their own. Now, Shiro, he's on the bomb site right now. They still have Henny locked into this, but it's very tough to get him out, especially given the fact that players, they've run out of utility, except for that singular smoke on Hobbit. No flashes to get Henny off the angle. And Shiro, he's looking for a fight elsewhere.
That is super impressive by Henny. That is very, very hard to keep your composure when you're basically locked in between a smoke and a Molotov. Nice find from Dual. And that might have been the one chance here that players had to get back in the round. Now it's a 2-on-4 with only 17 seconds. A leg shot there on Axile, but still, they should be able to hold their own in this bomb site. They're pretty much all here, and I think players will probably just save out this round to get that AWP. Axile, a little bit low if they had an HE. He'd already be dead. Hard to cross this one. Oh, he's thinking about a taco when he's going to find that one.
Oh,
and wow. Shot onto Hobbit. Steal back and save that AWP. That is huge.
Big frags to find at the end there. One of those players actually is on $500. That's a huge kill for Taco to end this round. It looked like players were in such a strong default, but Henny was able to stand his ground so well. The smoke behind him, despite the fact that there was pressure from the CT side, everything looked like it was going to collapse on Henny, but players, they didn't like their chances of the collapse. They didn't have the flash that they wanted. They didn't have the numbers in the right positions, and that was their downfall in that round.
Absolutely. That is a really interesting turn of events. Shiro's walking in. They are able to buy a little bit in this round. Maybe a little bit more than I was thinking even. They got that AK, they got the Galil and the AWP, so they're a little bit more dangerous than maybe you would have thought. Are they going to try and see if they could get a little bit of a jump over? Oops! Spotted out. Shiro, he's already been shooting people through walls. No more, please.
That's so interesting. Axile was already aiming at that. He was already ready for something like that to happen. So they did their homework. That's what
that ATK game as well.
That's what that indicates to me.
Everyone's been watching it.
Yeah, it was the talk of the RMR, as a matter of fact. So yeah, a lot of eyeballs on that game. Players are approaching towards A. Got Henny and Lado on the defense. This is a good boost.
Ooh. Nicely done from Henny. Something else I learned watching that demo was while they were... Oh, nicely done, Shiro. Yeah, crouching. I don't think Henny maybe even... I must have heard the AWP down outside of B, so maybe he could have known. 25 seconds. I'll bring it back to the other point, but they're going to be executing into this bomb site. 20 seconds now, running it late once again. Nafany, huge opening. Taco all the way back here by the truck, and another headshot rings out. 12 seconds, and they're going to go for the bomb plant, and no one is there to stop it. Nafany finally going to get out-dueled by Dumao, and it's a 2-on-2, at least for all of a second. Barton, how do you break this one open? Just a gap. Did he see it?
Oh. He could have caught a glimpse, but he's not favoring his chances.
No.
And that's a strong crossfire between Axile and Shiro regardless. Even if he does hard swing on him, there's almost surely going to be a trade. So without a kit, without a smoke, it's even harder to justify this. So players will find their third, and the money is broken for Godsent. It's not looking pretty for them.
Something that I noticed in that game against ATK was that the only place where they were really aggressive and it really looked like they tried to take a little bit more control was actually Taco pushing out of the B-bomb site. through the monster tunnel.
Right.
Sometimes a little bit later in the rounds, but sort of trying to get that information and, you know, be responsible for an early rotation to the A-bomb site. So that was something that I noticed that seemed to work pretty well for them. I wonder if that's going to be a feature of this one, or if they're going to be pushed back onto the bomb sites themselves. But so far, so good for players. 3-1.
This is the start that they were looking for. You can see that Nafany's pretty happy about it. Yeah, the way that players approach the A site, it feels like they somehow get away with using less utility than other teams. And once they're on it, it's so hard to break the defense too. They are one of the best teams in terms of fundamentals once they get into post-plant situations. And I think, Anders, I think they do have to, Godsent that is, they have to stop players before they get close. They have to find ways to disrupt the default, which is something that a lot of teams have been wondering, how do we do that against this roster for a long time now?
It is very, very difficult, without a doubt, yeah. It makes sense why Overpass would be an interesting map for a team like this, because there is so much setup space outside, and you can get a lot of map control where you can maneuver around, and you can even get a little bit early. So we see, they're trying to see if they can make through, yeah.
The play you were highlighting, part of it.
Yeah, see if they're going to be able to actually accomplish it. It's Godsent pushing out, though, first in line, but he does have Taco with him.
They shouldn't expect Hobbit. They should... Oh. No, can't imagine that they think he's
that's
here.
Ridiculous.
They thought they cleared it.
Yeah, they probably do. They obviously realized that they're out here, so flashing their way through. A little bit of a crossfire. That flashbang did not really do anything. Oh, this is very sketchy now. Hobbit could come back in and maybe try to help out, but no, he's inside of the bomb site instead and making noise, running. Lado surely would have heard it. This is such a strange round. Lado still goes down, but we're not done yet. Taco's still out here, maybe the only one that can save the round. We'll get the... a little bit of a burst fire off, but AK picked up from Shiro. And now it's a 2-on-2. 40 seconds. What an odd round this is.
They had so much trust, or Hobbit had so much trust in his teammates dispatching those players outside of Monster. He secured everything already towards water, towards pit. And now Henny creeps on forward. There's not a lot of utility for Godsent here, but they're in a 2-on-2 and they're close to the site. They think it's doable. It's all up to the trades. Shiro with a perfectly timed swing. Dumao looking the complete opposite direction. And now Henny, he has no armor. This is nearly impossible. If he even gets one kill, that'd be nice. Here's the aim duel, but Shiro, he makes it so hard. Just crouching, peeking his head up, puts it back down. That was not gonna happen for Henny.
That is a real shame. I love the idea, but everything about this from Godsent's point of view, the pushing out in front like this, it's not really that far away from working. And you're right, it's an interesting thing to highlight. Hobbit basically trusting his team to clear this out, and they almost didn't. That almost failed, and then Hobbit's play in that B-bomb side is kind of nullified, so...
What Hobbit does by pushing forward is he secures the victory, assuming that monster clear works out.
Yeah.
Even if one person survives, which is what happened, they win because he has so much forward space and he's able to get the entry onto the site. Axel's being pressured though, and yeah, we're seeing more B aggression, Anders. This is exactly what you noted from the ATK demo, and we see that it forces players' hands. They speed up.
4 versus 5, yeah. They get out there, they do pick up the rifle, but they just can't be everywhere at once, so gonna lose the A-bomb site, just the USPs here and holding it. Shiro is working on a nice little stat line at the moment. He's 9-1, 10-1 now. See, Alex, I can count too. Machine, that is. Notice he's been practicing during the broadcasts.
Oh, yeah?
I just wanted to show off a little bit myself.
Can you do it in other languages?
I mean, obviously in Danish.
That's one.
Probably in German too, to be honest.
That's two. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so you can do it in 3 languages.
Probably, and I can probably count to 3 in Finnish as well.
Wow. Okay, man of many talents here.
Yeah, that's that's counting.
I could do it in Chinese and Spanish and English. That's it.
All right.
Yeah. Well, depends what number in Chinese, but
okay.
Spanish I could do up to almost 1 million. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, I had a friend of a friend once whose mission in life, I don't know why, was to learn to say the dog is behind the door in as many languages as he could. So wherever he went, that was all he had to learn.
And then the one situation arises where there's a very small dog that's going to be slammed on by a door if they don't recognize in time, and he'll just be there regardless of his location on planet Earth.
Yeah, the whole universe converges on that one moment. And he's the hero.
And he's able to say it in Swahili.
Yeah, exactly. He's got it. So why not? 5-1. And at least Godsent are back with some rifles. But I'm starting to get nervous, Maui, because this is overpass, and if you know what you're doing, you get a pretty good run on the CT side. So the fact that they're down 5-1 is, I think, a cause for concern.
All right, that'll help.
Yes.
Henny with the opener. He's actually making his way down connector too. He's holding on to a lot of space right now, but players are walking out B right now. Good crossfire between Barton and Taco, and this is looking good for Godsent. They get the opener, players speed up towards B, and they're met by a very nice setup. This is one of the more standard rounds for Godsent, but it looked confident.
This is going to be hard to get your way out of. I mean, these are the kind of rounds, again, where the slow, weird, constricting style of players can actually work out pretty well. But usually, I like to say that you have to get a mistake from the enemy team here to really open it up. You kind of need someone to forget what they're doing. And hopefully on the Godsent side, with all the experience between Taco and Henny especially, someone is yelling out, just don't give them that opportunity.
Oh yeah, this round's not over. This round's not over. Enters, he's approaching. Dumao's going for a jump spot. Oh, head spotted. Enters, he has a feeling. That's a perfect Molotov to force Taco out. Oh, but Shiro misses the chance. 10 seconds left. He still wants the kill, and they're pressing on forward. They want this op out of his hands, and he actually misses again. Wow, you don't see Shiro miss that many shots in a row usually.
No, and if he would have trusted the Molotov, you're right, to begin with, probably would have had Taco,
yep.
You know, could have still been around lost there, but that's so interesting. Well done. 5-2. They put an end to the bleeding just for a little bit now. They've got the double up set up on their side and 2 AKs. So they're pretty well equipped right now on the CT side. Yeah, that is...
Oh, the Molotov actually went a little too deep. Taco wasn't burning.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Small mistakes, maybe?
Well, either way, Godsent were positioned with an advantage at that point, and now they got a very strong one. 2 deagles for players, and no utility whatsoever.
Did you know that the sign that's on the wall behind where Lado is, you can boost up on?
I don't think I did.
That is some really good spray control.
Yeah, that second kill was nice.
Really nice transfer, but yeah, you can.
Does it have any strong purpose?
The problem is it would really only be... It's like a little blue sign?
Yeah, the blue, the one that indicates the entrance to the...
Actually, you're sitting on the vent, I think, or like the pipe that's there, more than the... Yeah, you're really far. I think the problem is on the CT side, which obviously that you'd get there quick on the CT side, that's where you can do it, and it doesn't really have any, I think, real benefit. If you got there on the T side and anyone tried to walk through later, then you'd be in a really powerful position.
Cool place to set up for once you take space and leave a player to lurk.
Yeah, basically.
The only problem is if he has to fall off, he'll make noise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So.
It's good for a kill if you really expect the re-aggress, though.
Yeah.
But very specific use case.
Indeed. 5-3. I think is a very, very important bit of recovery early on here for Godsent, and that has to keep going. I really want to see Godsent up on like 9 rounds before we get to the end of this half. So, in my mind, at least they have a fair bit of work to do. Exile nearly did it. Nearly wanted to walk through. They're in a lot of danger out there. Dumao's picking up that second AWP. Got to be careful. Look at that. Oh, they make noise. Lado comes walking right through. That seems so careless on the side of players. Now, Nafany's going to try and see if he can make up for it, and it's a pretty good return right there. But they have lost Shiro in the meantime.
And Henny's still in connector. Okay, Molotov will force his hand. Oh, wow. He was thinking about pressing on forward, but he knew he would have burned to a crisp.
Look at how he stopped himself to put out the smoke so that he didn't run into the arms of someone waiting down there. That, again, is like, it's very, very quick thinking from Henny. Door's closed behind.
This is really tough for Henny now. If they open this door, he's going to have to pull off the 180. What? No way. Oh, man.
He heard you.
Yeah. The fact he gets one there is massive. Pretty much secures the round, the fact that he finds one. If that were all up to Barton, just going for the trades, this round is up for grabs for players. But now Axile, he's in a 1-on-3. Barton's playing up close. Dumau's holding the line with the op, and that is very nice from Godsent.
He has that little squeak of the door. That's his key, and he has to do the full 180, go for the quick scope.
I think Henny uses mouse excel, actually. I think he uses mouse excel, or he has a very weird zoom sense. It's one or the other, which makes this seem. That's mouse scope. Okay, I think it's zoom. I think it's got to be mouse excel.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can control that.
It's so like the conversation around mouse excel or just having a different zoom sense or whatever. It feels like, from like an academic point of view, it feels like it should be the way superior way to do it.
People use it for Quake.
Yeah, but like muscle memory wise, it feels wrong. But maybe it's just that no one's ever committed to it long enough that they. Because obviously, theoretically, you could probably teach your brain to adapt to both, you know? Yeah.
Surely there would be a muscle memory to it, because it's not... Well, there's a lot to explain in that. I don't know if I actually have the time. Yeah, it's a podcast. Yeah.
But not now. Tech9s are afoot. One of them's already down. Barton shutting it down. They don't have a lot to work with here. Players, they have a smoke and a flashbang and an HE that they can throw. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
HE is very curious, but they'll swing on out. Doesn't look like they'll be able to use the... Oh, they got a kill with the HE, by the way.
Done. Done deal.
Okay. The one kill they got was with that random grenade.
It's meant to be.
All part of the master plan.
Yeah, apparently. Just they're playing a level deeper than we can even understand.
Yeah, but...
Because, I mean, just to point out if people are confused, like... The value of that HE versus the value of another smoke or a flashbang is like...
It doesn't feel right.
No, it's like, it's obvious you should buy the smoke or the flashbang.
Yeah.
No questions, but...
Right.
Not this time for some reason.
Okay, but scoreline... Oh, he just runs out with it.
He got dinked, Taco, and then...
It just lands on him. Okay.
It's ridiculous.
Scoreline tied, though. You wanted to see 9 from Godsent, and they're making a case for themselves. That smoke is a little bit tricky. It's one of those older one-ways, if I'm not mistaken, but there's a counter smoke coming out from Hobbit, so he doesn't even have to worry about it.
A lot of the heavy lifting so far for players has been done by Shiro, and he doesn't have the AWP right now. So, not to say that that makes him useless, but I think that a little bit of maybe luxury time here for Godsent, where they don't at least have to deal with that. So, we'll see. Lado has now picked up the AWP instead of Dumau.
They're double opping on A together. So, oh man, Henny just missed the timing. Yep. That might be everything Nafany needs. Oh, okay. Still gets the tag. Henny's so active with the angles that he's holding. He just switches between them at will. It doesn't even seem like that's off timing or anything. He just decides, I can do it. I can hold both.
I mean, with the speed that he's playing at, he probably can. That's what's really scary.
Yeah.
Look at the clock, 30 seconds. They are committing to this bomb site. They need a strong opening. Nice counter Molotov. It forces the smoke, and there's another one of the L-bend. This is what Godsent, again, we saw this on Inferno, saving the grenades until very late in the round, and it is paying off massively here. Shiro gonna get wiped out. Taco, ooh, he gets downed anyway. That looked like it was the perfect play, saving a couple of bullets and waiting 10 seconds on the clock, and the bomb is gonna be planted here. Lado trying to see if he could stop it, but I don't think... Oh! If that had been Nafany instead planting, maybe he would have been dead, and that could have been really interesting. But now they have to save the double AWP. That is cutting it so close. I'm actually so shocked. I thought for sure the double Molotov towards L-bend and Monster Tunnel was going to win the round almost alone.
It felt like enough, but the smoke to put out the monster one left just enough of a gap that it almost functions as a lurk smoke that a lot of teams like to throw at the beginning of rounds out of monster. Yep. So that's just very well placed from players in terms of counter utility. But yeah, Godsent, they still have the memo. They still understand that the playing style is very slow in this game. It's still all about saving that utility. The execution was where they fell just a little bit short, and players actually they just had the counter to it.
Yeah, this is really, really...
This smoke allows a nice little entry route for people like Inters.
It's quite tricky. Yeah, the way you can play around that smoke is just... It does make it very tricky on the CT side. 6-5. Godsent still with money. Even after this round, if they lose it, they still have cash. So I think that's evidence that they've been doing a pretty fine job. Henny on the timing shot then actually looked like it could have connected, but it didn't. Dumao's back with the AWP.
Exile did not expect that. That's a great way to find an opener. Godsent have done a solid job at converting the openers thus far. Before it was Henny to find one. Now it's Dumao. The ops, they've been effective so far for Godsent. And we'll see what players want to convert with. A handful of players going through connector, which generally indicates that they want to take short B water control, as Nafany still stands outside of the monster tunnel.
What is this double setup?
Yeah, this is a scary position to be in. If there's a nose flash, which a lot of teams like to throw, both these players are dead to rights.
Yeah. If I drop down here, though, and I have to do that double face, I'm going to be so mad. Oh, they're smoking off towards the L-bend. They try to give it up, and they're almost challenged. Hobbit nearly beating the timing. Nafany pushing through on the other side, and Taco in too much trouble. Sandwiched in from both sides. Dumao trying to get that shot through the box, which, in case you haven't been paying attention, you can shoot through the box. Nafany and Inters, 2 on 3 now, 25 seconds.
Double up, though.
Yeah. And they're pushing through, trying to catch them. Again, this is just players optimizing every second of the round, thinking if we could catch someone here before we plant, that's going to be even more effective. But they didn't realize they were both there. Inters, he thought, all right, he's escaped. It's all good. And now it's on Nafany. 1 versus 3. Stuck behind the bomb site. And death was the only way out.
The one true escape.
Yeah. 6-6 tied up. That is... I think... Godsent are showing a pretty decent understanding of how dangerous players are late in these rounds.
Yes.
You could see how they realize, even in a 2-on-3 with very little time, that actually they could go for a push forward like that, which I think a lot of teams, you'll never see them do that.
Oh, yeah. No, you'll never see the majority of even top-tier teams do something like that. But players, they exercise every option, and these kind of games, almost regardless of the result, I don't want to write off Godsent just yet, but they're learning a lot very quickly.
Yeah.
So this is really cool for Godsent that they're being tested like this, and the fact that they're keeping it competitive in both maps thus far is it's so different than what we saw from Godsent on day one.
Oh, the timing here. Is anyone to throw anything? He's smoking it up. I wonder if there's going to be a flashbang from inside of the B-bomb site. You can throw some really cool, not just flashes, but actually Molotovs. You can basically Molotov, or smoke, sorry, where Shiro is right now, and segment off the rest of it. They tried to get through, and it could have been a really nice double kill, but Axal is there for the return. Taco playing that ledge, and all the way up at the sniper spot. They do have an AWP. Some deep naves landing. Oh, he does push through behind Axile. And Taco, very, very important double. That saves the round for them, surely. Axile now on his own. Can't find a target yet.
That is a lot of trust in that flashbang.
Yeah.
That is a cool way to play that, and it's super risky. There could be one guy looking the wrong way. He could easily spin around, but nope. Taco seals it right then and there. Double kill for him, and players made it through Monster surprisingly well, I will say. The way they jump around, the way that they create crosshair disruption, it makes it very frightening that even when you have a smoke, they can just go 1 for 1.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. Taco making up for it. Also, Henny, even the first shot that he got, we just saw it there on the replay coming out of Connector. He's so fast. I mean, this is the... If Henny could keep upgrading his game more and more and more in the next couple of months for Godsent, that would make them... That'd actually make them a very different team.
Right. It's been a presence that they've been lacking.
Yeah.
For sure. Who's constructed? So 1 for 1. That's the lone rifle for players finding a frag. And Taco has been so instrumental in these B defenses. Oh, man. Hobbit with the 1D on a Doomao. It's just Barton in the bomb site right now, and he's playing behind the pillar. Players, they're slowly coming out, and man, they've already scaled. They've already fanned out. Barton didn't expect that. Oh, missed shot from Hobbit, but Godsent, they're priced out of this round.
Yeah. And not just the deagle headshot from Hobbit, instant smoke to the sniper spot, and that really isolated Barton. That's a round that they should have never been close to winning, but the boost and then the follow-up deagle shot, and it all worked out. Man.
The re-peek from Doomao, that's going to be something that they might want to go over later. It's simply tough to go for a left hand or left eye swing in that position.
Yeah.
Especially if they could have space in water at that point. There's a lot of angles that are going to beat you.
Yeah, that is very true. Looks like they're going to be able to save even the AK here. Yeah, Exile not finding a way out. So it ties up the scoreline 7-7 as we go into the 15th round. I think definitely 7 rounds is pretty good for players on the T side already. I think that they're pretty happy about this, I think.
Yeah, definitely. They have an exceptional CT side. See that kill from Hobbit. That was what opened the floodgates. And all right, we still got good money. So both of these teams gonna run their strongest gun round to try to win the half.
Timing for Henny not quite working out. Yeah, he's ready for more. Again, doesn't really feel pressure the same way that a lot of other AWP players do, which they would have tried the timing shot and ran immediately all the way back, knife out to restrooms, right? But Henny's like, let me see. Maybe there's another few seconds I could spend, so makes it super entertaining. It's fun to watch. Now we set up a little bit further back, and he's got some backup with a rifle close by. Lado playing that forward corner with the AK-47. No one's on the B side at all. This is one of those rounds where if they go for that forward push what Taco is talking about, it could be super helpful. Missed chance, but the follow-up is there. They know about the AK, though, only for a second. Oh, now the pressure is on, and Shiro will find the kill on him. Henny just could not make that work. They are actually pushing outside of B, but it's just too late.
Yeah, the Barton and Taco are so far away at this point, and Inters, he's already keyed in onto this angle. It's not the easiest shot to hit, so perhaps Godsent win this duel? Okay, Inters holds it down to close out the half. What a spray down from him.
Yeah, practice your long-range sprays, everyone. You could do that actually in the break, because coming up is the second half.
Fire in the hole.
I think it's someone of G2
or NIP.
Yeah,
or NIP.
for sure.
I don't know.
I would say Nico.
I would say Hampus.
A win is a win. Doesn't matter how you win.
This guy is a Russian for sure. I'm gonna go with Lucky of Entropic.
I don't know, man. To be honest, it's hard.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
It's only one for looking for ore.
I'm gonna go with NIP. Res.
Yeah, I don't know the names of the players. Sterling or something like that?
I just forgot that Fnatic had 2 English people.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm gonna go with Nico of G2.
Okay, let's go for Nico.
Yeah, we are so bad, really.
So high from here, you your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the
Map 1 had an 8-7 scoreline at the half, and we've got it again for Map 2. If we can repeat the scenes that we saw on Inferno here on Overpass, we are in for an exciting map of Counter-Strike. I'm Maui Snake here with Anders, and we are here for the final map, or final series that is, of the day at ESL Pro League. Hopefully it's not the final map.
We all want that to not be the case, but I think that everything's looking real good for players right now. 8 rounds in that first half, now they're going to the second half. I think it's lined up pretty well for them. Godsent, though, they have really impressed me a lot throughout this tournament so far, so I'm ready to be surprised once again, see if they could do a little bit of a better job now playing on the T side. And players on the CT side, obviously. It's a little bit of a setup with a smoke and a flashbang. Going to be going out. It's pretty standard stuff. Lado is playing a distraction over here, and it's actually causing a huge rotation. A lot of people are looking for him. So the question is, can Inters and Shiro hold this on their own? And so far, the answer is no. Hobbit has shown up with a deal. That's Lado on the other side. Shiro, he will get just the 1 kill before he gets run down. But you know what? Sometimes that 1 kill makes a big difference. Bomb is being attempted. Hobbit has shown up just crazily running onto the site with the dualies, and it's too much. Dumao will take 2 of them down, and it's going to be the round for Godsent.
Great explosive play onto the B site, and just enough misdirection from Godsent so that players couldn't rotate in early enough. That is definitely the start that Godsent were looking for there, and it's a well-drawn-up play in terms of just how you want to run a pistol. It's just the right amount of misdirection, but not too much risk, and works out.
Yeah. And you have limited tools anyway in the pistol round, right? You don't have the same needs or anything, so it all works out perfectly fine. This round, they do have the scout. They have 2 5.7s. We're still seeing steadily more and more of those being picked up, making a slow resurgence. But the jumping Mac 10 is a Counter-Strike classic, and for a good reason. Shiro going to be going down, leaving Axile on his own. And there's not much he could do here. Nade not going to kill anyone. And maybe just take some shots if he wants to with the scout. He could stick around, but could also just go for the save. Good job.
Yeah, that was a nice play from Godsent there. Pretty much just fearless behavior as they approached the bomb site. Can't give a team like players too much respect in rounds such as that. And also, something to note is how fast Godsent have played some of these rounds and how they look like they've just been calls out of spawn. Barton will find the last kill, but that's something to keep an eye on, is if Godsent with this lineup hasn't gone over too much yet, fleshed out the defaults, we might see an explosive opening like that, but when you run out of steam, you stop. You get really, you don't have too much left in the tank at that point, and I want to believe that Godsent have developed their Overpass playbook, expecting this map. This is probably the map that everybody thought players should have picked in this series, or it's one of a couple, but you gotta have a developed playbook to beat a team like players.
Yeah, I think that's true. Well, unless anything changes in this round, they've just got USPs. Let me draw an analogy to those calls out of spawn, right? It'd be sort of a little bit the equivalent of you know, deciding to play your poker hand right away and playing it all the way through, like, you know, the river and the turn and everything.
Yeah.
And just never changing your mind no matter what. You've just said, I've got, like, you know, like, whatever, like 9-10 offshoot, I'm playing it no matter what. And then you see...
Then you get hit by a 3-bet and you're wondering, oh God, how did I get this many chips in the pot?
Yeah, like the whole point of of getting the river is obviously to see like, oh, wait a minute, what are actually my opportunities now, right? And the Counter-Strike equivalent would be saying, you play the default, you say, what information is even out there, right? Like, what is actually happening? And then you make up your mind afterwards, right? So I guess it's true. You could theoretically, you could have like a string of 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row where you call it out of spawn and it's good, right? But but it might not happen. Oh, here we go. Quick setup. Oh, they slipped right at the top. I'm not sure if they would have found anyone anyway, but
didn't look like players were moving through that space, actually. So
still cool to see.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Taco, though, we've seen him have some really sick games here at ESL Pro League. This is another one. He's got to keep it up on the offense, though. That's where it gets hard, especially as a B lurker, which he's positioned himself as.
He has played this position forever.
Yes.
Every team.
It's a trademark. It's the only problem is it's tough to IGL from there.
That's an interesting point, actually. Yeah, you're so reliant on the rest of the team throwing him information and that information being pretty good. And
yeah, it's almost maybe too much responsibility on the shoulders of some of these younger Godsent players, but maybe he's taught them well. Maybe they've gone over some things, drilled them by now. If they know the protocols, Taco can be anywhere.
That's something from the outside, right? That is impossible probably for us to evaluate. Like, we'd have to do pretty extensive interviews with the actual players and their teammates to figure out what is like the quality of communication that people put out there, because it does really vary a lot. It makes a huge difference if you're someone who can have really good, clean, accurate communication. Looks like it's going to be a B execute, and it looks like players are pretty well aware. They have some people here, 2 more rotating in even as we speak. There is a brief timing window. We're down to 11 seconds, and they're going to get mowed down. Hobbit with a big double, and because of the time that's left here, there's not much they can really do. Trying to leave it to almost last second. I wonder if they thought they would have had more of a fight. I mean, they tried to have a fight out long, and maybe they were hoping that there would be more of a peak somewhere, that they could have started that engagement with a kill on someone in B and then gone for it.
That was... They probably were hoping for a frag in the default there, but this was a really good defense from Hobbit, especially. Even while seemingly half blind at the tail end of his first kill, as soon as they saw the right side pillar smokes, or the monster side pillar smokes, they knew exactly what was coming their way. They knew exactly how they needed to set up for that. Okay, they assemble it properly this time, but once again, there's no one from players that is testing heaven this early in the round, or even just lingering there.
Yeah, and you don't want to stick around forever either. But I like it. I mean, as long as no one sees, you can justify doing it more or less over and over again. Of course, it does slow you down if you wanted to take quick control out towards long or restrooms, then you're not quite going to be able to do that, but... What is Dumao doing?
Looks like he's setting up to get a good angle for a flash. Oh, Taco, he thought he had a timing, but enters. This angle is so powerful. You see their feet so early, and he's able to get 2 kills because of it. And now the bomb... It's in that smoke. Godsent could potentially retrieve that, but it's risky, and they know that. They know it's risky. There's a lot of spam going their way. This is going to be a tough one to piece together.
Yeah, players are happy to wait around, or they're expecting the boost. This is such a good read. Yeah, Inters, he's way, way too smart. You can still win the fight on the other side, but odds aren't in your favor. Inters taking him down.
He even had low HP already and only got tagged once. Oh, flash there too? And yeah, they see the bomb.
Yeah, now they're saving, right? There's nothing they could do. Wow, great stuff. That is very satisfying. The first couple of kills they're obviously right, the good position, but none of these kills for Inters really had anything to do with aim or anything. He's just out positioning and out thinking his opponents.
Yes. And what's great about it is that Inters is the guy that definitely gets left out of the conversation most in terms of his roster. He's pretty much the standout support player for a bunch of top teams, though. I mean, he would be a good player on many rosters. It's just that his role on this team is in the back lines very often in positions that don't see a lot of action. But he's really skilled. He really is. I know a lot of people say that about support players, like, oh, they really are, they're good, and, you know, you just try to hype everybody up, but Inters wins so many clutches.
Yeah, he's not one of these players where if you think about, oh no, it's Inters in the 1 versus 2 or 1, like there's still a good chance he could do a lot, yeah.
He can do it.
Okay, running right through the flames, putting it up with the smoke, and Barton, it's a very quick position towards the L bend. I think they must have heard players, but I love the idea because sometimes there will be a mistake on that side. You know, you come walking back, you don't even realize. Look at how close he is. That position is being covered by Nafany, but maybe you could do it. Leg shot on Hobbit. Is it going to force him back into it? They are aware. Nice spray. That is well done.
That's a great read by Barton. Oh, but Axile's got such advanced positioning. Henny is ready for it, though. That's an excellent tag. And now Axile's trapped. Taco takes him down from the top. Man advantage for Godsent. They don't have a lot of utility to work with, but you see how that's making players scramble. Nafany's pushing up towards short. He's testing things out, but he leaves Shiro in his stead.
And he's starting to walk in a little bit. Were there really no grenades on Axile that they could pick up? I feel like that's a bit unusual. Oh, no.
The second shot.
That is super devastating. That's the bomb down. That's everything pretty much gone wrong. Godsent, otherwise, they'd fought their way back into this round. Nafany takes it all away. Falling back and landing more headshots. A triple kill. Now, there's not much to be done. Nice little smooth surfing down the side, and there's the quad kill.
Wow.
Oh, wow, he picked them apart. That's gotta be just gut-wrenching.
That is a great individual effort there from Nafany. The decision to push, and you could see their players, sometimes when they're in these kinds of situations, a 3-on-4, they'll just stack a bomb site and hope for the best, but not this time. Nafany gets incredibly proactive and just finds the perfect timing, and also he hits every shot. That's beautiful.
That does help a lot, doesn't it? All right, back with the AKs. Again, taking a dive towards sewers. They're instantly putting out the flames. Nafany trying for the spam. I mean, it had the right idea. Didn't really necessarily do that much damage. Axile trying to see if he can check out connector, but it looks like they want to try and go for a boost a little bit early on here. Not a bad way to get things opened up, but Hobbit already trained on it. Yeah, they're so aware this could be happening. Inters, gotta be careful. Almost showing his back. He's looking for it. Yeah, they are not going to surprise players, it seems, right now with this particular play. They've tried it twice now, and both times been shut down. 4-on-5. And now this B push is still kind of in progress, but it's so telegraphed.
Yeah, and everyone's here from players. There's four guys on the site, but Taco finds the entry. That's a clean headshot for him. Barton as well takes down Nafany in the pit. Now Taco pushes on forward. And Hobbit goes 1-for-1, and Lato taking down Shiro. Now Godsent have a chance.
I'm actually so shocked. Everyone saw this coming towards the B-bomb site. They definitely knew, catching him out in the open though. Axile, who's had a pretty tough game here on Overpass. That was his 7th kill. What? Oh, but those two, he just went from 6 to 8 and clutched the round. Absolutely a great time to show up.
You could tell though, that first kill that Axile gets on a Taco, that tells him everything he needs to know. Taco walking in backwards towards CT, there is no reason Taco would ever do that unless there's already a player that's slotted in towards that angle. So perfect read from Axile, perfectly understanding what Taco's just positioning and how he's looking, what it means to clutch that one out.
Wow, the heartbreak continues. 12-10. Such an important round there from Axile.
Yeah, and it felt like Godsent had no chance until those flurry of trades occurred on the bomb site. Players had everybody there.
Yeah,
they were all set up.
It's only a 2-round lead, but even with the bomb plant, the money is questionable for Godsent. They are really starting to fall a little bit behind here. In terms of kills, unlike we spoke about this on Inferno, how the kills were really unevenly distributed in favor of players, but everyone's kind of here. Everyone's showing up. So
Godsent are ahead in frags.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Doesn't tell the whole story. Never does. Can't just look at a box score. Fast play, though, from Godsent. Excellent Molotov timing from Inters, but they put it out immediately. He's stuck there at the barrels, and Nafany is taken down. Lado somehow finds Inters. Okay, this play worked incredibly well for Godsent. They just flew onto the site, and everybody is dead.
Talk about calls out of spawn. They had everything. They had the smoke to put out the Molotov at the entrance to Monster. They had it all set up perfectly. And they got 3 opening kills, so very well done. I mean, they needed this really badly to stay in the series. They definitely needed to make this work.
That was an excellent play once again. What Godsent is doing right now for any potential up-and-coming players or teams, they're showing a lot of nice execs. They're showing a lot of great little set pieces, and this is definitely one of those demos to watch. If you want to just build out your playbook. Very cool stuff coming out of Taco's crew.
Dumao goes up with the bomb, but I think they're going to be fine with it. A little bit of a shame, but ultimately, it's going to be 12-11.
Oh man, the drive-by.
Yeah. That really is where the Tech-9 thrives, isn't it?
Yep.
Puts so much pressure on the CT side economy. If they lose this round, Godsent actually go back in the lead. And here we go already with some Molotovs putting a little bit of pressure on. Henny setting up in case anyone was going to be forced forward from that. No real presence on the A side of the map for Godsent, so it could be another fairly fast execute here.
It looks like that's what they're going for. They've already got 2 towards water. The flashover monster will be there. Taco will be on monster entry duties, but Inters, he's there to meet him.
That slows them down so much. And do they don't even have the nades to reaggress. It's almost, I don't know what they're meant to do here. Molotovs didn't really help them out on that ramp. Probably wanted to force someone through. Oh, what? He just comes charging right through the smoke and he's able to pick up the kill anyway. And we're back in a 3-on-3. I don't know how Godsent are getting away with this, but they somehow are. Shiro wants to help out, makes a heroic effort of it, jumps into the bomb site, and Nafany trying to play around the fire here. 45 seconds still. Oh, he's looking for it. Dumao gets the kill on Shiro. What? They pick up Exile as well. I don't know how they're doing it. Nafany on his own. Godsent, they should not be winning this round, but it is looking very promising right now. Nafany gets back behind cover. And now he's looking for just one more chance. 27 seconds. They could maybe run to the A-bomb side, but it is not risk-free. And they're going to pretend to do that for a minute. I think Nafany read it the same way. And in fact, they're still recommitting to it. Yeah, he's going to go check here. 15 seconds on the clock. He's up at the sniper spot. They don't have any nades to get rid of him, and they got to be real careful. What a nice headshot. Nafany now down to a 1 versus 1. And Barton, he has to commit to it, but now he's also stuck behind here. Smoke to buy a little bit more space. Nafany walking out on top, and Barton, can he find it inside? Oh, he jumps up, and a 1 versus 3. A fantastic clutch coming out from Nafany, and that might be the end of Godsent here. That is so hard to lose a round like this.
That is heartbreaking for Godsent. They did so much heavy lifting in order to get into that bomb site. The initial play doesn't even work, but they fight their way in regardless, and yet that's a punch to the gut. Nafany with an incredible 1v3 just isolates every duel so well, knows exactly how much he can get away with in each fight, and it's so close. Dumao did so much work.
He really did.
Those kills over the site smoke, that felt like it locked in the round.
Did they have the smoke when they came in from the Elben, or did they pick up on the site? Because if they had the smoke, they could have smoked the high ground, but maybe they just didn't, and it was first when they planted the bomb. I'm not really sure.
Couldn't tell you for certain.
Oh!
They assembled. Oh! He had 2 chances.
Oh. Why did the second guy jump? That seems very risky. Okay, here we go. 13-11, 25th round. Again, they don't really have any presence on the A side of the map, Godsent. Now they're gonna reclaim that a little bit later. Which, on some level, unless you go for this really fast B execute, you have to push the CTs back on that side, or everything you do is just gonna be so obvious. So I can't believe they lost that last round.
Oh, Henny kills the jump spotter. Hobbit is there for the trade. That's a very important trade for Hobbit to find. But now this is made things interesting. Godsent are actually in a default. They haven't really done too many of these effectively yet, and now Taco, this is where the mid-rounding capabilities of his IGLing have to take place. He has to come up with a good plan, because this is about as good of an opportunity as you're going to get.
And it looks like they actually want to take away some of his chances here by simply... I mean, if they remove him on this side, it does shrink the map quite a bit. The smoke is fading, and there's 2 people waiting inside. He almost managed to take down Instant. They're going to react. They instantly... All right, if there's 2 here, they could at most be 2 at the A-bomb site. Let's try and see if we can hit them before they get there. A failed smoke on top, and Shiro still gets taken out. What a punch. Exile. Again, he's had a bit of a tough game so far on this map, but he's backing off from long. Oh, did they realize? Yes, they did. Barton, how did he see? I would love to see. It felt like he did a double take, but he could have almost only seen the gun barrel. Shadow at range, he is definitely going to go down to that one, and we're back into a 2-on-2. Hobbit and Inters, who's very low on health.
This is really tough to piece together for both teams. The T's want to push somewhere together so that they can clear some space out, but it does mean that they're taking a risk. Doom out, once he gets that kill, this round is secured. That was essential. And running towards A is the response that Taco calls once he sees those 2 players, and players were ready for it. They had Shiro on the site, they had Axile towards long, but Barton just comes up with 2 frags out of nowhere. The one towards long is curious. I have to assume he spotted an elbow, and that's why he continued to commit to that fight.
Must have been something, right? Because the round probably ends if they don't check that fully, if they just kind of forget about it, which they could have done. Yeah, this opening is so wild.
Oh, Shadow. Okay.
He saw the Shadow. Fair enough.
That's right.
I've got to say, I mean, yeah. If you make that call, you say, okay, there's 2 in Monster Tunnel. Go A right now. That's fine, but you can't make a call to get an entry like that. I mean, like you kind of need the entry for that round of work. Look at the money on players now on top of everything else. They're going to go for their own triple boost down here.
Good recognition from Godsent in this round for the default to run against a buy like this. This is actually just really strong. You're covering all your bases. You're taking the most favorable engagement as a priority towards long, and you're still making sure that everybody else is more or less secure. The lone player that's left out to dry is Henny, but he has an op. He takes 1 shot. He goes up the ladder. That's not even that bad.
Yeah, he's going to be fine.
This is looking promising for Godsent.
It is.
Yeah, this has got to be surprising for a lot of people too, because players are one of the best overpass teams out there.
They really are. Henny is 19 and 13, 19 kills on Taco, and then 17 on everyone else. There's a full team effort. They're all doing really, really good job right now.
Really love to see that. It's not just one guy on Godsent that's hard carrying. Everybody's chiming in.
Yeah. 5-on-3, obviously, no chance to recover this round if you're on the player's side. I wonder if there's... I mean, they've been playing a pretty standard game right now on the defense. They've been struggling a little bit with that B-bomb side, even when they've had a lot of people there. Trying to think if there's something that we haven't really seen out of them yet that could be interesting. I guess some of those deep pushes towards the playground. The problem just is, I guess, if you push a lot of CTs on that side of the map, they are just so far away from B. Like, they might as well be on another map.
I wouldn't be surprised if players emphasize water control. They don't really do it that much, but it's something that Godsent have needed on every single one of their B execs, other than the ones directly out of spawn that are monster rushes. So if players can shut down water, then Godsent's options just feel so limited immediately in the round.
And having that water control gives you a fast rotate through connector up to the playground, so you can be like very, very dynamic back and forth between the 2 parts of the map from that position.
Water control is, in a way, insurance that you have a new way to retake towards A on top of it. Yeah, it is very powerful to get that.
Bomb dropped a little bit back. Barton just throwing a nade towards the restrooms, kind of pretending a little bit, but otherwise... Nice nade bombardment there. Doesn't catch anyone, but that is always... Again, when you're this close to the finishing line, right? 13 rounds, you need 3 more. If you can get a kill like that, you don't need that many tricks now. You can't necessarily play a whole half based on tricks, but a couple of rounds, sure.
anything to find an opening kill. Saw Godsent convert the last 4v4 they were in on a gun round. Even a 5v4 is just a luxury. Right. Nafany, he smoked off the angle finally. Barton's really taken his time with this. And the crunch is there for Hobbit. There's a lot of pressure on him right now. Axile, he's defending the top, but Hobbit somehow finds a lineup. Oh, the Gush is there. Barton gets a very needed trade.
Oh, if that aim punch doesn't come through, it's entirely possible that Hobbit just keeps on with the M4 and gets the headshot, because there was not much showing there. 3 on 3, that does reset the round a little bit. Inters back behind the barrels. They do have a Molotov on Henny, so if he guesses right and puts it on here, I don't think Inters could defend this bomb site, and that might be the round 1. But Henny is down in the tunnel, so probably going to be a little bit tricky to do that. Instead, peeks in with the AWP. Nice damage there, but it's not enough. The FAMAS just doesn't have the stopping power. Barton will take him down, and now going to be the bomb plant on top.
Oh, miss flash.
I don't know. They have to think about the economy too on the CT side though. Yeah,
that's exactly what they're thinking. They don't have an in anymore. If that flash hit, maybe Shiro goes for a swing, gets a kill, 2 on 2, the retake's on. But without that, and with no kit especially, you just can't play the same.
Right to the left of Shiro here, you can boost up as well, Mary.
Oh,
on that wall. Like you have to jump from the stairs. You might even have to jump on someone else, I can't remember, but there's like a little weird space on top. Again,
pixel lock?
Functionally useless, but
yeah.
But you can do it.
But it's there.
It is there.
There's some interesting clippings. How many clippings have we not found in this community yet?
Oh, a lot.
So
I guarantee it.
Surely so many. Barton in these late round entries has been fantastic.
True.
He is doing things that Taco can't even call. He's actually just deleting people from bomb sites in a way that there's not even a counterplay for players.
14, 13. They're actually doing it. The economy's with them. They're getting into position right now, but they could get us that third map.
This is so similar to what happened on Inferno, though, where Godsent had a chance, and then just a couple of save rifles were able to do so much for players. But this time, Axile gets caught out towards long. It's a very fast approach from Godsent, and they find that singular kill, and they pump the brakes. Don't want to run in head first before they acquire some more information. There's also potential that players make a mistake, that they walk into one of the crosshairs of the Godsent members.
We have over a minute, yeah. Why not give them that chance? Don't interrupt your opponents when they're making a mistake.
Let it come to you.
But they're not really retreating from this part of the map, sticking around. They have done a little B execute, so I guess they also probably feel like let's not let them set up and stack that bomb site too easily.
Oh, wow.
Sneaking out is Hobbit. They're thinking, yeah, now it might still be B, but now they're going to realize, nope. I think he even saw the grenade. I think Hobbit realized the grenade flew over him, and he called he's trying to call them back at least. Now he knows, and he's going to get traded right away. No, they did actually still commit to it. I thought they did like a little bit of a backtrack, but maybe not. 4 versus 3, and again, these 2 rifles are just super important for players. It's going to be hard to try and go for this retake.
I think they're buying next round anyways. They might be okay with sending it here. They don't have a kit though, so they gotta work quick. He wants to smoke that angle off. Oh, they've sparted out Barton now.
Surely no way.
No, there's no smoke on the bomb.
Yeah.
Surely they can't do this. Surely they have to hit every shot. Players have to hit every shot right now. Oh, that's it. Dumao takes down the diffuser, and Godsent put themselves onto map point, but boy, that was close.
So scary right there. The fact that it's a 10-second defuse just makes it so hard to believe. They made a credible attempt there. Basically, with those 2 opening kills, it could have happened 15-13, and Godsent are on map point to try and get onto play Mirage. That's the 3rd map.
Wow. Things have gotten interesting in this series, that's for sure. We already knew that from what we saw on Inferno, that Godsent are playing at a high enough level that they're pushing their opponents.
have money. You're absolutely right. It's definitely the fact that they could buy in this round that made them go for that last one. That's super important to think about. So they're going to have the AWP, the rifles, most of the nades, no defuse kit.
They've got the op on Shiro, and we haven't seen it have the most impact. Would love to see Shiro try to take something from his FunSpark playbook, where he was being a menace to players. He was trying something new in that tournament, but Hobbit, oh, he presses on forward, beats the Molotov out, and he's able to find an opener.
Nice move. A position that's often spammed on the T side, so got to be careful as well when you go for that, especially with the Molotov, right? That Molotov and AK spam is a classic, so he beats the odds on that one. 4 versus 5. And players now, obviously, they're in it for the overtime. They look at how many people they have in the B-bomb side. They really don't want to lose any more rounds down here. Like, we're not going to give this one up.
So many of the T-side rounds for Godsent have ended at B. They might be changing it up, though. They still have a lot of utility to work with, and a decent amount of time, too.
Do you think he's going to shoot him when he's jumping behind the truck back here? Exile, that is. If you...
Henny's fast enough.
He is.
Henny is actually fast enough.
Exile, yeah, he's thinking about it. Give us the opportunity. Oh, he's going to go the other way.
Yeah, he's pushing. And that means Shiro has to rotate up. Bit of a timing here that Godsent might catch. Oh, they're getting pretty close. And Shiro hasn't set up in position yet.
Oh. This could have worked out really well for Godsent. Attempted spam there. They catch Axile lurking around the restrooms. 20 seconds. And it's going to be a bomb plant. It's going to be a full 4-on-4 retake. Inters is coming. Ooh, nice grenade on Taco. Inters coming in with the flank as well. And if he wins that fight on the flank, it opens up everything. And they probably win this round. Nafany, nice shot on the Barton. Taking him down. Henny's covering. And he's going to be able to get it. So the flank is gone. Now it's just a straight-on retake. And remember from the beginning, they do not have the defuse kit. They have smokes and everything else, but it's a 10-second defuse inside. Missed opportunity, but the spray gets him. And I think that's everything. Henny with the shot onto Hobbit, and it's done. 16-13. They managed to survive on overpass, and they get to play a third map. Well done, Godsent.
Well done indeed. Great switch up there from Taco at the end to call for the A play. I am so impressed with what we're seeing from them. I want to know more, and I know one person, Anders, that has the scoop. One person that can tell us more. It's Heku. She's on the sideline. She's got more info coming. Hit it, Heku.
Yeah, Mao, right now I'm joined by the coach of Godsent. As you can see, today is Coach Day. Chagi, can you explain me how exactly did your team just manage to win on overpass against players? Because that's like one of their best maps.
Yeah, we not have been too very good at overpass, so we made like a special game plan to play it, and it actually works. So I'm just glad it did.
Yeah. But do you have a special game plan for Mirage?
I can tell. That's a secret.
But it's probably somewhere there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm not delay you any longer. It's a long day, so get ready.
Thank you.
This marathon game, it's Godsent versus players. We're now on Mirage. It's been really delightful. I think everyone's been playing really high levels of Counter-Strike. I'm really impressed. I'm really pleased.
I'm surprised Godsent made Overpass look that good. That was the way that they were doing it too. Was sometimes the initial play wouldn't even work out necessarily, but then individuals would bail them out. Sometimes the mid rounds from Taco would bail them out. There were a lot of cool ways that they put together some of those rounds. So
Mao would entry, bail them out.
Arden would find a double kill. Everybody. The cool thing about what Godsent just did is that everybody contributed so well, so evenly.
Yeah.
There were no players from Godsent that had under 19 frags.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to show a lot more of that now. The knife was done. They're starting on the CT side. They're controlling the middle, and the players are setting up a pretty default execute with one single smoke. Is it enough, Maui?
One smoke. With this setup, it's actually the perfect smoke. There's not a single player from Godsent playing CT.
Yep, they smoke off connector and everyone is in middle.
It's the perfect smoke.
Talk about value for money.
Oh, wow.
That is very, very rare.
Usually they throw one more set of Kevlar away for that second smoke towards deep jungle, but
I mean, they could have just as well thrown that smoke towards CT spawn, and then they would have jumped into a bomb site where 3 people would have been shooting at them from that range. That grenade doesn't really help them out either, so far so good for players. Looking nice. Dumao is on a deep flank here from the apartments, and it's going to have to be quick on this one. There is a kit on Henny, but obviously no more smokes to try and do anything with. This seems like an impossible retake. Nafany shows up, Hobbit comes in. Plenty of time to take the shot at range here. Yeah, nothing much Dumaui could do. He's going to have to make a run for it. Players with the opening pistol in a great fashion.
I'm just still shocked that they threw one smoke and it was just the best possible smoke for Godsent setup. But
they don't even know that until they go watch the demo. They're like, oh,
that worked out as well as possible. Yeah. Good hold though in the post plant from players. Just finding those opening headshots, it's essential. Despite the fact that there was a nice Dumao flank, it couldn't find too much. So, well done. But there's a force buy from Godsent, and Henny's on the scout.
A little bit of a boost in the corner. I mean, you get some value out of that. You can also get stuck down here. They're making an escape with an assisted smoke. So that's okay. It's a bit risky, but we'll allow it. Otherwise, they've gravitated 4 people towards the A side of the map, leaving Taco on his own, which... Playing alone in B with dualies? I don't know if I approve.
I'm not favoring his chances if they end up going B.
I would have wanted Henny over there with the scout maybe, but whatever.
Well, Godsent are going for what the players' roster tends to like to do, just a seemingly random stack. Oh, that looked right on it.
Yeah.
Only hit a couple of times. All right, here we go. Dualies in play. Counter smoke is there.
Just try and hide inside the smoke. Stay alive.
Buying a lot of time, but there's no rotation. He gets one.
Fair play.
What more can you ask for?
Fair play. I mean, yeah, that's more than I was expecting. And the rest of them are going to save, and I think that's just perfectly fine. No reason to try and throw away a lot of...
Just try again next round.
Yeah, give it a shot. But a good, I mean, players, well done on them for dodging the stack at A. Sometimes that fails and you can have a pretty bad round, so.
Not sure if anything that Godsent did indicated that, or whether that was just going to be players' plan the whole time. But we're going to see a repeat round.
I mean, that's where a lot of the homework really comes in, isn't it? Where you get a feel for if they are stacking A, then are we going to meet them in middle? Are we going to see it? Like you build some sort of feeling for that over time. So yeah, it could even be something that we can't even necessarily see in the round because the information that they're getting is basically coming from historical context rather than in the round context.
Yeah. A lot of ways that Counter-Strike teams put together information in a round based off of player tendencies, team tendencies, what they see in the round. A lot of stuff to unpack again. Podcast topic.
Yeah, we'll get into it one time. Okay. Well done. Smoke was almost popped. Shiro was like, I could go like a 100th of a second before. It's going to be all right. But it's not. Henny was there with the scout, and he takes him down. So 4 on 5 now. It shouldn't be a big problem here. The real issue is if it happens again, then you get that weird feeling that, wait a minute.
Oh. Well, Exile's down pretty low. And the players are pretty split up right now. top con in ladder room. The bomb is towards B.
I'm predicting a taco headshot over at that B bomb site with the P250 when they jump out. Oh, they're gonna dodge him. Then it's not gonna happen.
Well, he surprised you with the dualies. Maybe he'll surprise you and double up this time.
They're sort of falling back.
It looks like it looks like an underpass to A.
Yeah, and they got that window control, and that kind of gravitated them this way. They were like, yeah, let's go for it. Ooh, he sees it, Henny. Oh. Do they know he's got a chance, maybe? Gonna swing up. Another headshot to bring down Hobbit. That is really good. 2 for 2 right now in the headshot department. Still a 4-on-3, 30 seconds. They're clearing the way, using the nades to try and get a little bit closer and get that bomb plant down. And Henny can't really stop them. But again, Exile is low, like you said earlier. There's Barton edging off Inters. And now look at Nafty, he's got no health at all. Dumao comes running into the bomb site, and Exile on his own. And even without the kit, they have time, and they can find Exile, and it should be no problem. Smoking off the bomb and providing even more pressure here on top of everything else. So 10-second defuse underway. Exile waiting for it. There comes Taco, and he has to basically go and swing towards the smoke, and he can't even get the job done here. Wow.
What a steal from Godsent there. Excellent shots from Henny to open things up, but also the flash that Henny threw from CT to set up Barton at that ramp was excellent. That peak needed to come in, and we're going to see some of those shots back. However, this puts players in a really peculiar position where they read the round very well, but they still couldn't piece it together, and that's just unlike them. Godsent are playing, they're punching to their current weight level. It's really nice to see how some of these individuals are stepping up to make this game much more competitive than I think anybody would have thought.
And this slow style where you take a long time to make up your mind, it could be very good, but against Henny's scout shots, it really does pick the team apart, so that's a bit of an issue. Dumao with a kill. Shiro, good spray at range with the Galil. It's going to give them the bomb site and a good chance now to maybe get a bomb plant here. There is an upgrade from the scout to the AWP, and Axel is feeling the wrath of that weapon. Nefeni right at the edge, and he takes down Taco. That is giving them so much space towards CT spawn. That's actually a massive luxury in the afterplant. Grenade bouncing over, and it... Oh, no, that's actually the spam coming through on top. Taking down Inters. Nafany playing around the Molotov. Another quick retake coming in here from Godsent, and a little bit of a difference. They have defuse kits this time, so they can spend a little bit more time. Nafany is still playing forward, and he's going to try and hide. Play this one deep inside of the smoke. He gets found by Henny, and now it's all on Shiro. Already been zoned out, and that damage is enough to make him walk away from the whole thing. Defuse is going to happen, and Godsent, they're looking so sharp right now.
Wow, what a retake from Godsent there. That's really impressive. 2-2, tied up, and players, once again, they put themselves in what seems to be a really favorable position, but just, you could call that a misstep from Axile, you could call it great positioning from Henny. Either way, no matter how you dice it, I mean, that's a retake that felt very favorable for players, or at least a post-plant, and yet Godsent just pieced it all together. Good utility, good spam. Excellent job. They're doing so well right now. They are playing at a very high level right now. This is really pushing their opponents.
What a time to come alive for a team that certainly has had a fair few question marks around it. Be interesting eventually to go back and see if you could probably almost make a little video from day one to now, following sort of the upgrades, how everything's working better.
Yeah. Even just looking at Henny's POV from day one to today, you're going to see so much more.
Yeah.
You're going to see a guy that's getting into his comfort zone very quickly.
We talked about this when we saw him on the opening day, how constricted he looked. He looked like he was sort of just holding the angles, not moving around nearly as much.
On Nuke, he basically played the same spot for 14 out of the 15 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not fun to watch that POV back.
Now he's been unleashed a little bit more. We have random selection of pistols and that one Galil, and that's enough to take down Dumao. Good start for players.
Ultimate value for the single rifle. And Axile, he doesn't know, but there is a chance that he could find that.
Think they did this on Overpass, right? They boosted outside of the B-bomb site with a 1 AK, got the kill, and then ended up winning that round, I believe. So they've sort of done it before.
Yeah, you would never count out players in a round like this. That'd be foolish. That'd be ignoring past results.
With Exile in the window, Taco's kind of nearby, and did he hear that? He must have.
Yes.
I feel like. So might be able to call that in, but that is a lot of pressure on Martin and Henny right now. Fortunately, there are no smokes to get rid of Henny, so he's got some clear shots potentially, but if his teammates goes down in here without any fight, it's still going to be an issue. 23 seconds, no one's moving on the B bomb side. They're really far away, and there's the opening on Barton. Henny with everything to do. 15 seconds, they're planting the bomb down in front, and he's not at an angle to really shoot anyone there. A little bit out in the open. Got to be careful if they stand up. And Hobbit comes in with a random deagle headshot to take down Lado. Huge issues now. Taco and Henny, they might even have to just save the rifles here. This is such a... This is just... This round is emblematic of everything that is player's style.
Yeah, I will say, as soon as Hobbit hard cleared Sandwich and didn't see anybody, it felt like Barton was doomed. There was nothing else that players had to look at. They could hard clear the under Balk position, and it's exactly what happened. That takes away a potential crossfire, and then when players are able to full focus on where that sole lone site defender is, it's over for him. And I will say that Shiro hit some shots with very little room for error, so that was impressive too. Yeah, this is just a full commit swing because they have full confidence in what's available for the CTs.
Nice fight from Hobbit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a bit unfortunate. This is a slightly more unusual start to this game here. No one is having a real control of the map yet. No one's having the real economic control. Players probably a little bit more well-equipped and a little bit more money at the moment. Yeah, but it's not the traditional start to a Counter-Strike map. Makes it all the more interesting.
It's back and forth. It's exciting. It's tense. It's what we want to see to close out the day.
Oh, hold on. If they go for the run boost here, Henny...
He can hit this.
Yeah, he can. Swings out. Oof, doesn't quite get it. But that is exactly the kind of shot. I'd put money on Henny to get that one.
I've straight up seen him hit that multiple times when he was on Furia. So, yeah. That's one you don't want to keep going for.
Double clearing that A ramp. Barton realizing, or at least going to realize eventually, no one at all is there. It feels like this is going to be a crunch to the B-bomb side, and Taco is very much alone.
Shiro's here with the entry flashes. Taco's position looks pretty strong in terms of where these flashes will go. Shouldn't get too blind. And Lato is right there to defend, but they're both stuck at empty pillar. This is very awkward for Godsent. Lato has to fight his way out. He only gets one. They might not clear Taco, and he's good for a kill himself, but he swings out wide.
I mean, impressive from Taco that he even does that. Hobbit, are they checking him? Do they know? They must have fought him before, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Hobbit goes down, and it's a 2-on-2. Barton makes the clear across, doesn't fail to jump, and somehow Shiro missing that shot. It is right in front of him. Axile will clean it up, and he should probably be thanking Axile right now because that could have got so awkward. Henny walking in, scoped up, maybe hoping that someone would have fallen back this way, but I'm not sure this is ever going to be possible. They are right there, but Henny can't really know it. And this bomb is already so far ticked that exit kills, sure, he can get that, but he cannot win the round. It's going to be 4-2 in favor of players.
Good B conversion there. Just got a little bit awkward on the site defense. When Lato and Taco both doubled up at empty pillar, that's just not how things are supposed to go.
I think maybe there was a way that could have worked out slightly if they didn't also get Molotov there.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, one could swing and then the other one, no one's going to check it afterwards. I agree it's not a great position anyway, but the Molotov makes it completely impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, it became incredibly awkward with the utility placed by players. So, Godsent go for their first time out. How do they use the Henny op? He got into good position last round at middle, was able to at least provide a lot of information there. There's definitely a chance that they just work off his spawn.
Do the boost at the back of bench in B where you can look into the hallways. That's always fun.
That is there's potential for that one there. That would lock down the B site.
Yeah, and playing that way, obviously, you are at the mercy of them actually showing up. If they don't, then and it doesn't matter. So sometimes I guess it's tempting to go look for the opening rather than waiting around. But we'll find out. They have some smokes and some upgraded pistols. So a couple of tickets to try and get back into it. Henny's going to go in the middle, hoping for someone to sneak through, which we can see no one really is.
No, we've got Inters on the Palace Lurk. And Henny's hoping, okay, this is something that Big did very recently, and it seems relatively new. In fact, I was talking to Alicia about this, that this might be just, I mean, people haven't used that either for a long time, or it's a new boost. So,
and I mean, it doesn't offset the angle that much, but it's enough.
Just, it gives you a better chance of hitting the shot, though. And it gives you an opportunity that otherwise isn't presented.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit deeper than the underpass player thinks you're going to be able to spot him from.
Yeah, basically. Hobbit is in the middle. Everyone else outside of the A-bomb site. 7th round, and clock is running down a little bit. Not that much by player standards. I love the use of Molotovs here.
Yeah.
Not just in sandwich, but on the outside of that smoke. If anyone wants to rush through, they're not going to be allowed to. Yeah, great utility use right now. Should put them in a great position to try and win this round. Taco, he gets a kill, but really fast trade, and this is everything they really want. 3 on 3. There is a flank coming in from Hobbit. Should be efficient as well. Once that smoke clears, Lado is probably dead. One more kill though for Godsent, and maybe I'll change my mind about it, but yeah, Hobbit put into play. They have some good control in this round.
Yep, that looked like a very composed execute. It's exactly how you want it to look, so the double mollies on top of that, like you were saying, it just makes it so nobody can push through, because the common counterplays for an A exec like that is either jumping through the stair smoke with a flash, or jumping through the bench smoke and trying to use it as a one-way, but those Molotovs take everything away there. One of the oldest execs for this map. In fact, he was even used on the previous version of Mirage very frequently.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke.
Yeah.
5-2. They do lose a few players. I mean, I think that's maybe the only real silver lining right now for Godsent, is that they keep doing fair economic damage to players. If they can win some back-to-back rounds here, there's a way to get back into the game a little bit. But it is starting to look a bit grim right now. I'm not going to lie, that 5-2 scoreline has me worried.
It's been tough for Godsent to find any consistent footing. Got the nice jump from Dumao there. Oh, okay, he's presented an opportunity versus Axile, but that is a big victory for Axile. Takes a lot of information away from Godsent, on top of the fact that he finds the frag, and now, oh, players, looks like they want to speed up towards Taco.
They might have realized that there is a bit of a weakness here. Taco on his own, grenades raining down everywhere. No flashbang yet, because they don't even need it. Hobbit is going to take him down. That's really rare. Normally, the problem is if you're playing that CT angle, you're looking straight up into the sky and flash is just raining down in your face, but they didn't even need it. Oh, nice shot as well. Barton goes down, and Henny, I mean, he's almost getting on. I was going to say he's 7-1. He hasn't really died much yet, but I'm not sure that's a good thing right now.
Yeah, it also indicates the fact that he just hasn't been getting involved.
Yeah.
That's what that scoreline says. That, yeah, when he's presented opportunities, he's been finding the kills, but you would love to see him actually just be involved, even if he does go 2 for 1, 1 for 1. I think the only death he has is actually on the pistol round.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, and he's saving the AWP. Credit to him for doing that. They're out hunting for him as well. They really, really want to find him. Look at that, just all around the place. They realize they could still catch him. They're going to sandwich him. I'm not sure if he's going to make it out here. They could be running for a little bit more. There's the nade around the corner. Oh, he's so low. And there it is. They get him.
He stayed alive so much, though, that he still has $7,450.
Yeah.
Despite the fact they're down 6-2. That's an important victory for Axile there. Good jump from Dumao, and that's just a pure aim duel. There's very little way to spin that beyond the fact that it is just a pure fight. And Axile is one of the sharpest riflers in the world.
Yeah, super well designed. 6-2, and the 9th round is coming up. And they have a Mac 10 on Nafferty. They're guessing a little bit. Said Henny had a lot of money. Ooh, catching Taco, who had the duel. He's up there. He bought an AWP. So trying to do something, and we'll take down Exile. Good start here. They need a little bit more. They know the orb is on the other side of the map, so it would make a little bit of sense maybe for players to try and speed up behind this and just kind of get the bomb down. Well, speaking of which, the bomb is back in T-spawn, so maybe not. That's hard to explain.
Well, they might not even need it. Nafany jumping on up. Okay, they have found out and triangulated Henny's position. Oh, Nafany's being so annoying. Oh, he's being so annoying.
Yes, he is.
That's really frustrating to play against.
There's no good answer. Waiting around is not going to help.
They're not even really rushing to plant the bomb. They're just getting close to him. They're...
Molotovs.
Okay, there it is. Oh, man. That's an infuriating experience if you're Henny. But at least he was able to find a kill. He just has to find a little bit more early round impact. I think Henny is actually feeling pretty sharp right about now. It's just about finding the right positions for him to succeed in and putting him in the right place at the right time. Shutting down B isn't a bad option, but then it's up to the other Godsent players to hold down A. But now they have guns, so this is as good a chance as any to make that happen.
Yeah, and he has the AWP once again. I agree, he's not been doing badly, but I think players have also done a very, very good job of making him irrelevant. Like the fact that he's been left alone so many rounds trying to save the AWP is kind of evidence that in those rounds they're just not attacking where he is. They keep dodging him in new and creative ways. Spending some time right now, waiting to see if Godsent are desperate enough to try and go for any kind of forward pushes, which they're not really at the moment.
Godsent are very comfortable playing back. They don't have to do too much, at least in their eyes. Overpass, we kind of saw that too. They didn't have to get too aggressive.
Cool. Awkward.
Well, they're lucky Henny's not on Cat this time.
Yeah. I like the fact that Lado's playing a little bit closer to Taco this time, just in case something happens. Oh, nice reaction there from Lado. Not necessarily that easy. Nafany's not only pretending like nothing happened, he's just still clearing the middle like he doesn't have 10 health.
Fearless leader. Oh. A little bit of a nade trade towards this ramp. Oh, good flash, but Barton's blind too, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for Godsent. And now there's a collapse on the A site. The Cat player is locked out by Exile. There's so much happening right now, and Godsent's getting the worst end of all of it.
They really are. Slowly constricted out of that bomb site. Just... those fights are really happening kind of everywhere all at once. It is very, very hard to do. But we're following that one around the smoke and the flash in, but at the same time, the window was getting attacked by Nafany. Inters took down Henny. There's a million different things happening all at once. It is very, very hard for Godsent to basically orchestrate a really good defense, right? Because you can hear your teammate calling it out, saying, "Oh, they're up connected, they're up in window," but it doesn't really matter. You're fighting somewhere else that you can't do anything about that yet.
That is the hallmark of a really solid Mirage team, that the way the comms feel for Godsent in those moments are, we can't really tell what's happening, can't tell what's happening, everything is happening. That's how it goes. When you're up against that, you're in the dark for so long and all the space has been taken from you. You're suffocated before you even know that you're losing air.
Yeah. That was a very cool swing from Inter.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
Oh, man. All right. 8-2, 11th round. And Godsent are out of money once again. This is starting to look really grim at the moment. Nice jump over from Taco. This is a very cool position.
Yeah, he's playing the right side of it. It doesn't actually change too much from how the T's take this fight, but it actually does allow Taco some different information. Oh.
Headshot? I don't think he saw anything. I think Shiro just died.
Definitely didn't.
I mean, what it really could change, right, is if you're coming in through, if you're jumping through the smoke like Exile was doing earlier, you could get really shocked by seeing that. You might be just a little bit surprised, so.
Yeah, it's a bit of an off angle from the normal top of the railing.
Yeah. 4 on 5, though. Players kind of... They're pretty quick to take the mid-control here in after the first casualty, but how long do they slow it down? Last time they got people in the window. They have everyone in such a prime position by the time they pull the trigger.
Oh. Cool counter smoke coming out from Barton. That'll create a little bit of a one-way for the ramp fight, but he's being approached from bench right now, and this... Oh, wait a second. They didn't clear Henny out. It's good for one. 4-on-3 advantage, and the bomb's not planted yet for players. This is becoming a little bit difficult for them as the players from Godsent are flooding out. Dumo is on triple right now, protecting any type of plant from ever happening.
Oh, that is so cool, but Hobbit shows up and he catches him. That was such a next-level play for Dumo that absolutely could have worked out. Now, there is a flank from Taco coming in, but they're in a lot of trouble once again here. 3-on-3, and players have slowed it down. Even if it's late in the round, they don't really feel the pressure. Axe out. Oh, that looked like a pre-fire. How does that happen? Lado able to pick him off. That was instantaneous. Intus with the 1 kill, Taco catching him with an 8 in hand. And now it's all on Hobbit to try and see if he can save this round for his team. The flashbang doesn't really touch him. They have a problem on the other side, which is no diffuse kit. It's going to take forever to get this job done, and he could jiggle it all day, and he keeps going, and there's the spray down. A massive clutch for Hobbit, a great triple in the round. They let Godsent have a taste of victory there, but they stole it from them anyway.
That was a well-composed retake from Godsent, but just didn't quite have the utility at the last hurdle. A smoke, a kit, any of that would have made it doable. Here's the opener from Henny. That's just a random shot.
Yeah.
But
I'm so shocked they didn't check this.
Yeah, as was I. I thought surely that needs to be checked, but either way, players, they still survive, and Lado is pre-firing there. That's just perfect timing for Lado, or perfectly unlucky for the T.
Really well played.
Yeah, that's using CSGO mechanics to the utmost ability from Hobbit. Jiggle, jiggle, swing.
So tricky to do anything about on the other side.
Because you just have to hold the line if you're Taco. If it's a fair fight with no objective, you can play a different game against that.
He doesn't have to stand still out in the open.
Yeah.
Like that. 9-2. They get some money back on their side. They could try and keep fighting again, but man, they are running away with the show right now, players. They're having a terrific time right now, Mirage.
Oh, they had the boost set up to actually catch the lower con peak, but the flash was there. Well done by Godsent to avoid it taking any casualties. Okay, Godsent haven't been fighting from too much middle this game, but this is a round where they're changing things up, and I like it. You need to spice things up a little bit if you want to get back in this game. You can't be playing the same game plan, and Dumao goes 1 for 1.
Yeah, he picks up one of them there, but there was just a gap around that position down at the bottom of mid, so gets picked off instead. Now 4-on-4. Bomb is making its way into the B hallways, but this fight particularly might be really important. Hobbit, look at that kill. Instantly trying to take it up, running into the bomb site, clearing. So he is such a smart player.
Yes.
You could tell from the way that he moved, he knew where that second player was going to be out on the catwalk. He's like, that's fine. You can hang out there, but I'm going to secure the bomb site for my team. And the bomb is now awkwardly dropped because Shiro went down. That does kind of mean that his movement is a little bit less, but Nafani's got 2 of them in jail here. Oh, this is so weird. He doesn't realize. They must have known. Henny got the shot earlier.
Yeah, they thought he was Cat. They thought he was Get Right or closer to the site, I guess. That's an interesting development, but we're in a 2-on-2, and Barton is on a very quick flank.
Yes, he is. Molotov on one position. Double HE on players. I don't think that's going to make a difference. HEs in the afterplant probably not going to be that important. There is a kit on Barton as well. I don't think they realize yet. They haven't really been looking now. They are a little bit thinking about it because he's been a bit slow, so maybe a chance. Barton, he's out in the open and he never saw Inters, and Henny will have to pick up the AWP and make a run for it. Oh, they're getting everything their way right now. 10-2.
Yeah, one thing that made that a little bit more obvious, even though Barton did that fairly quickly, some decent timing on it, is that Hobbit was deep in market.
Yeah. So
they knew that it wasn't a CT retake. It was either going to be double cat or a 1-1. And Godsent, I really do like the way that they started this round, Dumao going for this, but he goes for a second fight in middle, and with 24 HP, that it's kind of like he's feeling himself, but if you just keep that 5v4 advantage, Taco might not feel pressured to push into B apartments. There's just a domino effect when those sort of things happen, and it's not always wise to get greedy, even if you're feeling your shots.
It's one of the hardest things to control, isn't it?
Yeah, you have this gut instinct that I can do more, but you gotta trust your team.
I know
good punish from players though.
I know you played and watched a lot of Dota 2, Maui.
Yeah.
Back in when I played a lot of that in Warcraft 3 days, I remember the common spam was something like greed is feed or something like that. Classic thing. True as it ever was.
Greed is feed.
I don't know. Yeah. That happens a lot in Dota. All right. They have some money back. Godsent really seem to have lost the plot here a little bit.
Yeah, the variety of defenses that they've thrown out have not been executed to the best effect. Henny close though. Oh, misses the shot. Now this whole setup breaks. Oh, wait a second. Wow, Barton, somehow he got a smoke down in time. I don't know how he's that quick with utility, but either way, they take down Inters, who was trying to find a return frag from the top of Palace, and now players are shut out of this round. I do not know how that smoke landed that quickly at the ramp. That saved Barton's life.
Yeah, me neither. And if you replay that, probably they lose that the next 9 or 10 times.
Yeah.
Also, think about the change of pace for players. That was an attempt to basically say, yeah, we've been doing the slow mid control and boosting in the window and trying to do all these things, and we're gonna basically run through this on the A ramp, which I think is a really cool idea. It's kind of late in the first half now, so there's a chance that Godsent just wasn't going to be ready. And I mean, Henny did miss the shot, so maybe he wasn't. 3 on. That's so scary. 3 on 5 though. I mean, they can still win this round. That's something that Godsent hopefully are reminding themselves. Don't give them the opportunity. Even at 25 seconds, this team is capable of doing that.
Oh, they're carving out a path for themselves. That flash will blind Henny, or at least push him off the angle. It's a cat split coming out. That means it's up to Lado and Taco. Taco's position is known. Hobbit goes for the clear. Lado stays alive. Great trade from Axile. This is a very doable post plan now. Wow, Shiro, what? 12 HP?
He got the kill and he still got away.
Makes it out.
Even worse, he has a Molotov. And they don't have anything to stop that with. So if he can get into the right position and draw out the round just a little bit, that one Molotov can absolutely ruin the day. Oh, grenade, is it going to be? No, it's a little bit close. I mean, Godsent can't really know what we know, so don't really judge him for it. Oh, they're going to back off. They already know. They just don't feel it. That is so ridiculous. That is a 5 on 3. They managed to execute a catwalk to B split in a 5 on 3 and win it.
And they only used that single flash to push Henny off the angle. They didn't even have a rail smoke to get up catwalk. They just fought their way in, and man, it's so scary to be up against a team like players. All right, there's the smoke. Okay, he actually didn't get out for the first kill. It was actually just very quick draw. A quick draw to get his gun out after the smoke. Okay, that's how that all broke down.
Wow, this is at 8 seconds he's starting that bomb plant.
Inters can't help himself but smile.
Yeah,
we just did that.
They're getting away with so many rounds right now. It's really outrageous. But back in the game we are, 14th round right now, 11-2 lead in favor of the T side. Henny misses the chance there for the flick. That is definitely the kind of shot you need to hit.
Okay, Nafany's hesitation right there after the flash made Henny second guess his crosshair placement. That is so odd. It's almost like the flash was bad. Nafany said, wait a second, that was kind of bad. I'll peek anyways. And then it works. That little micro interaction is just so funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of one of the things you'd hear people complaining about when playing against Pasha back in the day, is that he peeks in an inefficient way that throws you off so much that you just like, no, wait, is he, oh, I'm dead.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
That is not an angle. That is not allowed.
I love the idea about that.
That is not how you're supposed to swing that, Pasha.
Exactly. 12-2. They're stealing the whole show right now. 15th round is coming up, and Godsent I don't know. They're being put to the test right now.
That's this is sometimes the case with certain teams where the favorites will lose a map, second map in close fashion after a map 1 victory, and then it's almost like the underdog just awoke the beast.
Yeah.
This is players at a very high level where you can't count them out no matter the man advantage.
And also for the kind of progress that Godsent have been making. I mean, it's one thing to do that on a couple of maps, but obviously at the very highest levels of Counter-Strike, you really need like a whole map. You need at least 6 out of 7 maps probably that you're going to be playing really well, and that takes a long time to build. It really does. So it
takes longer than a group stage.
It does. So I don't think it's even... It would be really unfair to expect that Godsent had that ready to play against a team like Players at the moment. So maybe we should not be too surprised. But I really want them to keep going. And I mean, they were competitive in some of these rounds, but yeah, the level of playmaking that's happening here on the C side is really wild. They're getting into so many good positions. Again, they're very late in the middle, 50 seconds.
Not too much utility for Godsent here, so they just have to stand their ground. Dumao and Henny, they're doubling up in connector. It's a good angle for Henny. It should be good to find Hobbit. And they might not expect the double up. Dumao's here too, and if they don't peek this carefully, there's going to be a trade, surely. Dumao's there, but the thing is players can trade just as well.
Yeah, they keep going. Shiro kind of on his own out here. Jump down. Axal, same opening as last time. Taco now on the bomb side. Shiro just runs onto the site and takes him down.
What do you do about that?
I don't know.
It's an op that's just free balling it all over this, just on the site. Just let him loose.
And they're so confident in their trades, right? The whole thing there was set up with trade after trade after trade. That's how they get to 13 rounds. That is almost a 1 map, but not quite. We do have a second out that's going to be played, and that is coming right up.
Hey Future Pros! We are back on Mirage, but this time with a fantastic flash. This is for the CT side to use for mid-window and useful for retaking mid-control. To perform it, line yourself up at this point on the ground. Aim to the right side of this vent along the flaked off pane. Toss the flash and this should hopefully catch an unsuspecting T off guard. Easy kills for you, good luck!
We are back once again. 13-2 is the scoreline. We're on the final map here between Godsent and players. It's not looking good for Godsent. This is one of those. This is one of those God testing the faithful kind of moments.
You gotta stay praying.
God has sent players to test Godsent.
Get the prayer hands up if you're a Godsent fan.
Yeah.
Anybody out there?
It's time.
They need your energy.
And they need some kills to start this round with. Now on the T side, they're going to try and see if they can pop out of the A apps and get straight into a bomb plant. Smokes are up already. Random USP shots are coming out. None connecting so far, and that's probably good news. At least they're getting this far into it. Hobbit, still a little bit of a threat here, and he's going to fall back and join up with Shiro so they can maybe, defend. They don't want to get run down by Barton. They've lost Henny in the meantime. And the bomb, a bit delayed. Barton, yeah, he's finally going to go for it. But a 4-on-5 retake. They have a smoke and a kit on Nafany. Golden combo for any pistol round, not really any other round too. Oh, Barton brute forcing his way into the CT spawn. That is a magnificent couple of kills there, and he's good for another one. Now he can pick up the USP. So far, it's the triple. Let's see if he's got anything more in him. They're trying to make the cross here. Taco's gone down, and it's back into a 2-on-2. Barton, they might have to call his number once again. That bomb is ticking. Oh, and he finally goes down. Now it's Dumao at range. They put up the smoke, and they're right on top. They have the time for it. Dumao, he cannot stop it. It's players stealing it again.
Oh, I'm wincing in pain for Barton. He did so much in the round. The flash setup from Taco, late round. They saved the flash for the late round for him to go to a late swing towards CT, but it wasn't quite enough. Players are able to pick up the pistol, and that has a lot of implications, not just for this game, but actually for the group and the group standings. Just coming in with the ESL info that if players win this, they will be guaranteed top 3 in the group, which means they will secure playoffs. And if they win, it means Liquid will have secured a top 3 spot as well.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm kind of excited for that prospect.
Yeah.
I feel like...
And Movistars are on top of the group right now.
Yeah, which is...
That's a shock to a lot.
If anyone says that they hit pretty that from the outside, I don't think I believe it.
I need to see receipts.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna see something like that. But now it's definitely exciting. They could have been playing well. They've been a really fun team to watch. A little bit of a tech situation to solve, and then we'll be good to go right back into it. But I mean, at a 14-2 scoreline, it is looking like that is the way that we're headed in terms of the group.
Yep. This might be the last opportunity for Godsent here. They are on the most even footing that they might find for the rest of this half.
Yeah.
And it looks like it will be a quick A ramp pop.
Okay. Good flashbang maybe. Hobbit looking the wrong way. That is a good, nice, almost free kill to start with. Shiro, he's alone down in shadow. No help there really coming. Nafany trying to create a smoke that he could play around, but they both get killed. So that's it, round done.
I think Henny just shot before he saw anything.
The best way to do it.
And he's even showing us where the body was to confirm that, yeah, he just shot just the edge of that smoke. Okay.
I mean, when that smoke goes down, though,
yeah,
you have to be suspicious, right? You think like, wait a minute.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But
so
still,
good read from him. But Hobbit just caught at the least opportune time. As soon as he hard clears that right side, that was when Godsent swung. So that's it's not bad. Godsent keep themselves in this one.
Yeah, one step in the right direction. Think of the total collapse you would have to see on the player's side for them not to win this map.
I can't even fathom it, actually.
It's gonna have to be a truly catastrophic event to get to that level. It's happened in the past. I mean, I feel like this is something that happens much less, and I think especially now at this really high level, it's much more rare. But at a point in time, there were a lot of teams. Oh yeah,
there it is.
Pretty good. A lot of teams, even top-level teams, were a lot more vulnerable to the idea that they'd kind of get this "we've already won" mentality, and let that be the gateway to actually losing the game. I feel like that happens much less nowadays.
There's a lot more game theory now for when teams are ahead in terms of closing it out, balancing the right amount of sort of default approaches and gamble plays. Okay, this is a gamble from Godsent to swing out Palace through a smoke, but it takes down Hobbit. And it's very difficult for players to get back in this one. Good Molotov, but oh, Taco just goes for the wide swing, and none of these positions are smoked off. So Godsent, they still have control of the site. They're taking a while to plant the bomb, though. Players, they're getting pretty close.
Really scary when you're not controlling CT spawn like that to try and go for the bomb plant, but they're at least successful initially. Jumping MP9.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, oh, and he actually just swings for it. Barton, you're so quick with that MP9 that it can be a little bit unnerving. Axile in a good trade, and now it's a 2-on-3. And somehow players are back into this round. It looked like Godsent had every opening they needed. Dumao goes down, and now it's on Henny. 1 versus 3, and the smoke is up in front. Shiro with the instant laser for Mars, and it's 15-3.
I can't believe Godsent weren't able to hold on there. They had so many players dug in, and yet players just found every opening possible. That was really well put together by players, but also it's a little bit surprising that Godsent weren't able to play off of each other a little bit more. This was a nice opener from them, though. It just keeping the tempo up, keeping the pace going.
I mean, that swing from Taco, because they had a Molotov and a smoke that they used right afterwards. That's probably one of those, again, like they're under a lot of pressure, but that was probably the first step in the chain, at least, the first link that kind of broke.
Yeah, agreed. Okay.
Dumao goes down.
Yeah, players are shutting this down. 5-on-4. Henny does have an op, though. That's something to keep to account.
It's been a weird game for him to op in. I mean, he's still got like that 69 scoreline, which you look at it, you think, wow, that's actually pretty good. 16 to 9. We're in the 19th round. I mean, he's done that's. But the problem is, so many of those kills are kind of at the end of rounds trying to save. There's been a lot of stuff like that, right? And if you look at the scoreline, the 53, you think, okay, yeah, they can't have been high impact kills, basically. Not necessarily his fault, but they've done a good job on that on the first half.
Players avoided him very well in the first half. It even felt like sometimes when they would figure out his location, they would move away from him. But this time, Henny, he just gets to impose himself. So we'll see if those skills translate to the offense. He's holding down that CT line. If Nafany goes for the jump spot, Henny, he's capable of hitting those sort of flicks, but it'll be Hobbit that's first tested. Actually, just gets the spot, throws the nade, backs on up.
Trying to play around that smoke a little bit now, Hobbit, hoping that they make a mistake like last time. Lado clearing out his position. Now Shiro's joined Nafany over on that side, so slowly edging their way out Godsent, but eventually they're gonna have to get that bomb plant, and Barton able to put it down. Still a 4-on-5 though, so we'll see how this retake is gonna be playing out. They have a smoke, one single smoke left for that after one. Oh, he actually gets the shot. That's kind of crazy. He looks like he was so flashed and blind there. 3-on-4 now, and the after plant still in effect. Smoke on top of the bomb right there. That puts the pressure on. They have a couple of kits as well. Henny gets one. Actually tags up Axile. He did hit that shot, just not enough for the kill. And there's the wide swing. And Axile is in for it. And they have enough time, I think. Picks up the kit, and they're on it 16-3 as players bring down Godsent. It took all 3 maps, but this last one was very convincing.
And with that map victory, players have attained a top 3 spot in the group. That means also Liquid have a top 3 spot in the group. Well fought from Godsent on the first couple of maps. Couldn't quite get it going on Mirage, but still gotta give a lot of credit to the fight that they put up there.
Absolutely well done. Yeah, Godsent, they definitely need a deeper map pool in the future, but so far the trajectory is a really nice upward curve right now. You've got to appreciate that.
It's looking pretty good, and the thing is that it was a team effort. No one really lagging behind on the maps that got close, and on the map that they won, everybody contributed. Everybody almost dropping a 20 bomb, and against a team like Players, that's impressive, especially given the fact that we're on studio land.
Yeah, well done. Expect more in the future, but we're not quite done yet. We will have the desk ready to try and break it all down for us, so stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Look, everybody at home, I, Parla, have to be honest right now. I'm disappointed with that Mirage. Why? Why'd you ask? Well, Inferno, which was Godsent's pick, players just edged it out, 16-14. Godsent put up a hell of a fight. And then we moved on to Overpass, players pick. And Godsent managed to win 16-13 on one of players' best maps. And then we came to Mirage, expecting or hoping at the very least for an epic battle. But instead, what did we get? Godsent getting crushed 16-3. On the positive side of things, a big congratulations to players. They win the series 2-1.
Yeah, great performance coming out there. If you had any doubts about the prowess of this team, I think that got very quickly laid to rest by Hobbit and his merry men. I have to agree with Paula, that was a bit of a disappointment, honestly. I wanted a bit more of a closer affair considering how close and how, well, brilliant those first two maps were.
Alan, I mean, it's hard because we saw so few rounds. We saw 19 rounds, but why do you think that happened? 16-3.
I think it's reasonably simple when you say it out loud, that just on all levels, they were not of the caliber of players in this game. I guess opening picks were fairly close now that I'm actually looking at it, but when we went to mid and late round, you can see the communication was really coming through on the players' side. So many situations, they were able to pick it apart, kind of analyze where those CTs were playing, and then go into the right areas. And obviously, on a map with the map bias, as Mirage does, a 13-2 terrorist side, that is extremely dominant, to put it lightly.
Blair, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this goes back to what we were talking about, you know, for the lineup of players. They've been together for so very long. So when it comes to even a comparatively puggy map like Mirage, right, they know what their protocols are. Their comms are so very much on point. And again, despite what was an incredible first two maps coming out from Godsent, you got to remember it's a brand new reorganization of this lineup, right? Even though just one player slotting out for Henny coming in, it was felt the best entry fragger, the star player for that lineup. Henny with the primary op, he's having to learn everything felt to do for his team in what, 4 days of practice. It's just not good enough, and it can be seen how it was all kind of exposed on the map of Mirage.
If we're looking at things from a positive perspective for Godsent, at the beginning of Group C, we wanted to see more from Henny. He did not start off hot. I would say over today and yesterday, that's changed somewhat. And perhaps this team in the long term can start doing some damage.
Absolutely. I feel like for Henny, there was a big question mark right there. Right? Can he really deliver? And despite it being a losing effort, we could see glimmers of Henny of old, even on Overpass as well. So hopefully if this trend continues, given maybe a couple of months, they don't really have too many events to play right now, we could see Godsent start to really deliver.
All right, everybody. Our interview is ready. Heku is on the sidelines with the coach of the players.
Hey everybody, today I keep on making all of the interviews with the coaches, and right now I'm joined by none other than Groove from Players. Groove, congratulations. You just made sure that your team is going to play in the playoffs of Season 15. When it comes to the maps that we actually saw today, yeah, the first one was Inferno, you managed to win it, but the second one was Overpass, and it is a map where your boys usually perform really good. What do you think went wrong there?
So, to be honest, we didn't have good preparation for this event, especially. We didn't have good practice after IM Katowice. We knew about it. We knew that we have a bad performance before this tournament. So I call it like we are going step by step and growing day by day during the tournament, because we don't have such opportunity before. So we will try to do our best, and match by match we just became better, but we are still too far from our good condition.
Well, you guys actually have like a really impressive map pool. Yes, you don't play Nuke, but like you play Permaban. When it comes to your win rates, your lowest win rate is actually on Inferno, and it is the map that actually your opponents, Godsent, decide to pick it. Do you know like the reasons why like, sometimes this map can cause you like some problems?
So usually we didn't pick this map, but of course we have the strongest map like Vertigo, like Overpass. So we have usually maybe Inferno is the weakest one, but anyway we have bad win rate because we usually lost to tier 1 team, so versus best teams. And it is one of the oldest maps, so it's such map like Inferno and Mirage. It's one of the most popular maps, so you can lose any team because the victory on such map depends also on your individual skill, not only the team play.
Well, it means the win today means that you are going to play in the playoffs, so like, I'm really happy that we're going to see you back again soon. But the thing is, by winning today, you also secured a spot for Liquid, who you're going to play against tomorrow. Tomorrow's series, do you think it will be harder for you to beat Liquid than it was to play, for example, against Movistar Riders?
I think it's equal team. Liquid is more experienced, but Movistar is more motivated, and they're just angry. Yeah. But at the moment, it's the equal team for us, especially, and for us was the most important thing just go to playoffs and to have 1 week extra to prepare for the playoffs. That's all. So all we need, we did it, and to be honest, I'm really happy because, yeah, of course, we focus on the first place. We came here to win, and we always try to be minimum top 3, but at the moment I understand, and all of us understand, we are not in the good shape, and we're really happy that we're going to playoffs and have enough time to be ready for playoff.
But hopefully you'll be able to prepare enough for Liquid tomorrow. But I'm really looking, as I said, like looking really forward to see you like back in a week. So thank you very much for the interview, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the evening.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Groovy, baby. Yeah, look, that was a sick interview. Groove gave some very in-depth responses, and shout out to Heku. Yeah, of course I'm biased. I do interviews too, and she's